Hi, a very good morning. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, 21 of you have joined. Okay. So, in last session, we were discussing some aspects of this Power BI and how we are going to develop some BI reports and dashboard, if you remember. And in that case, I have shared this HR data set. And in that case, we were looking for this recruitment analysis, another one. So, let me share my screen and start a discussion. So if you remember that we were working on this data set and we have covered some aspects of this like we have created some sensors. If you see my Power BI, multiple pages we have created on that day, like recruitment uh, process or recruitment analysis from 2006 to 2017, and I have shown this like bar or slicer, right? And a slicer case that you switch the minimum or maximum limit in that case. And apart from that, we have created another slicer for this that we can understand that what was the next 1 month or maybe the previous 1 month or maybe previous 1 year. Like there are multiple options in this case, years, quarters, months, and so and so. And in that case, let's say last 10 years or maybe something, right? What was the recruitment scenario or recruitment process happened in the company? And let's say if I say last 10 years, right? So this is just changing the results, another one. So again, it was a slicer that we have discussed. Another thing here is like I was discussing another slicer based on the year-wise analysis. Like what is happening in year two, like year 2006, 2008, and so, right? So why this blue line is coming? Okay, no issues. So in this way, like I've seen multiple aspects of this, and let's say if we want to select multiple years, then we were able to do that one. Let's say multiple years also, right? So same way, another thing we have discussed in this, why this blue line is coming, I'm not sure. So okay. So in this way, like when I was discussing this decomposition tree, and I was mentioning about this root cause analysis, why the people are leaving the organization, there are multiple reasons, multiple causes, and we have created a decomposition tree based on the department wise, position wise, and we were able to see such type of things, right? And apart from that, let's see. And in that case, production technician and so and so. So how many people are still working? How many people have left for so and so reason? Right. And multiple things we have done in this case. And apart from that, if you see in the last session, we have covered this one, key influencer as well. Right. So what is the key influencer in this case? What leads to what? Right. So I was mentioning about this influencing pattern, like which are the or what are the departments people are liking, or they are people are happy with the department work culture or maybe manager work culture, or you can say the which position people are liking most in this organization, right? If you remember that, let me run this one. So okay, in page 4, that again we have done some analysis based on this department is sales, that is more likable by the other people or by the employee than the other departments, right? But let's say if I increase some other calculation in this, let's say going back to this, okay. So this is the last, uh, these things we have done in the last session, right? Let me increase the another case in this, like, or let me change the business query here. In this case, we are looking for the department wise MP satisfaction, right? Well, if I click another one and going for this influencer, right? And I'm looking for the three things together, right? The first one, let's say analyze EMP satisfaction, the same data set, EMP satisfaction by explain why the three things. Let's say my first one is department, which department is most likable, or and the second one is position, and finally I need to analyze the managers as well. So third one I am giving here is as a manager name, right? Third option, right? Now, if I run this query, let's
Excuse
say in
me,
a focus
sir. Once again, you repeat it. I am not able to join. Just now I got into it.
Okay. So I was mentioning about this. Let me remove this. So I was mentioning another business query that I need to analyze the which department is more likable by the employees, which position is more likable by the employees. Another one here is which manager is more likable. So let's say sometimes if you have as an organization, we have a good business practices or culture practices, but due to some individual person, maybe sometimes I'm not quoting it for everyone, but sometimes due to the manager or maybe some leading person, the people are suffering a lot. So this type of analysis will help us. Either is a manager is a problem, either is a position is a problem, or either is a department is a concern for the organization. So in this case, let's say there is another option in Power View that key influencer, right? If I click on this key influencer, and let's say my first thing here is employee satisfaction to analyze. So I'm giving the first heading here, EMP satisfaction. Analyze all the employees satisfaction working based on the department wise. My first business query here is like a department wise. I'm dragging this explain why department, right? The second one here is position wise. Let's say position. And the third one, I am saying that the manager name itself, right? Whether the manager, so let's say our department is good, position is good, but due to the individual, people are not happy with the company. So sometimes it happens, not always. So what I have done, I have created the three query together, like department wise, position wise, and manager name. So let's say if I run this in focus mode, what will happen? It is saying that manager name is John Smith. People are more likable. Manager name is Michael Albert and Butler. Three managers, people are four managers. Sorry, three managers. It is showing as an analysis that these three managers, if you are working in their team, people are mostly happy or mostly satisfied. Right. Another one here is, let's say position is area sales manager. People are liking that one. Another one here is department as a sales. So if you see in this, if I click on this and summarize, see, let's say. So I was mentioning about this smart narrative, like a content generated by the AI. So what it is showing, let's say in a focus mode. Okay. So what it is showing us that when employee AMP satisfaction increase the most, let me go for okay, sport. See, AMP satisfaction increased the most by 0.51 when manager name is was John Smith. Other factor also cause EMP satisfaction to increase, explore them in the key influence visuals, right? So same way, we can analyze that these are the things that the company, like the pupil satisfaction is increasing when these things are happening. Let's say if a pupil is getting hired in department of sales, then mostly they are happy. Another one is position is a area sales manager. We will see another factor as well for this, why this position is popular among the employees. Another one here is the three managers are coming on the top on my screen. That if you are working with these managers, then people mostly are happy or maybe are satisfied. But let's say if I reverse the condition, let's say I need to analyze which department is least likable by the employee. The second one here is which position is least likable, and another one is which those like who are the managers in which people are not preferring to be in a team member. So let's say in this case, like department is executive office, people are not happy with this. Second one position is president and CEO. I will prove it again with another analysis. By the position is president and CEO, they are not happy at all. But another thing, they are the top leaders of this organization and that they are not happy. Another one is position is network engineer. And these are the three managers. If you are working in their team, or if any employee is working in their team, they are mostly not happy with the, or they're mostly not satisfied with the company culture. Right. So this type of analysis we can use this key influencers, like when the individual person is influencing the organization culture, when the individual is decreasing the organization culture. Another one here is like what are the departments more likable, what are the positions are more likable by the individuals. So we can analyze with this. Another thing. like we have seen in the last session, let's say this one. Yes. Yes. So, I was mentioning about this NLP based application, right? When we were writing any question answer and it was giving us the visualization. So, if you remember that, what is the query I have written for this? If I click on somewhere here and see, it is asking, see, I have just a double click on this and it is asking us maybe some predefined questions like usually we have in chat engines or maybe in customer care nowadays predefined questions and predefined common answers, right? For let's say query one, answer one, query two, answer two. Similarly, the Power BI is giving the facility that you could just type a question. Like, what was the question I have written in last time? Like, what is the pay rate, right, per hour? So it is even getting identified by the field name from the given data set. Let's say by, what do you say? By position or maybe department by position as table, right? So let's say if I run this, see, it is creating a table for us, but not say, let's say if it is not a table, then what I should write? Let's say as line chart. So I can give a visualization, not only the table, line chart I can give. See, let me give it the focus mode if possible. Okay. So what I have written, I have just created another analysis in this that create a line chart and based on the pay rate, right? Pay rate per hour, or maybe the paying per hour, right? So in this case, you are able to see the production technician is getting highly paid in this. How many of you are supporting? You let me analyze in full screen, right? How, or let me run this standard visual. Now I can go it for this. How many of you are saying, or how many of you are agree with my statement that my query is in the right direction? See, software is doing the work. Software is hitting the query and giving us the results. How many of you are agree that the software is giving me the right answer? See, as per this chart, my production technicians are highly paid, right? But there is an error in this diagram that software is not able to understand. That's why we need a human intelligence over the software intelligence. What is the drawback of this chart? When I was creating a table, I was not having doubt. But when I created or converted this table into a line chart, or any other chart, let's say column chart, bar chart, whatever, whichever you like, I have a doubt on the software skills. What is the drawback diagram?
Sir, in y-axis we cannot get exact figure.
So what is the drawback? Agree with this point, but what is the drawback then?
We cannot differentiate. You can see that straight line it is coming. So I don't think we can get exact figure as to what is their sum of pay rate per hour.
Okay. Any other clue or any other observation in this?
So we can't take a decision based on the data presented on the screen.
First thing, it is a false representation of the given data set. Right. Why I'm saying this is a false representation? It is showing me the sum of pay rate. I'm not looking for the sum of the pay rate. It is that means what? Like how many number of the production technicians are there? It is showing their pay rate as a sum. That is wrong representation. Instead of that, it should have written or it should have represented maybe in the average of a particular position rate, right? Of the pay rate of a particular position. So that would be the right answer, but this is not the correct representation, right? So I will draw another chart after some time, but this is not the correct one. So why I have created this chart just to show that software may create a mistake or software may have a mistake. We need a human intelligence whether the software is creating the right chart or right representation for our business query or not, right? So this is not the right representation of the business query. Coming back to this, let's say So please be careful, whichever the software you are using in any analytics, let's say Tableau, Excel, or Power BI, make sure that you are understanding that your business query is getting answered or not. See, software is doing its work that creating a chart based on your business query as an NLP or maybe as a question answer, but it is not the right representation. Now, another thing here is, let's say, in on that day, I was discussing about this, how many people have been recruited and how many people are still working by using the three types of the filter, right? If you remember. So let me start with this point and clicking on this page 7 or maybe a blank page, let's say. So let me remove this one. It is not needed now. Now, I will analyze a lot of things, but before that, let me cover some two principles that is required for any BI report or for any, what you can say, for any dashboard creation in Power BI or in Tableau or any BI reports or business intelligence report, right? So let me cover the aspects first, and then I will go back or I will come back to this to develop a complete BI report for the given data set by analyzing all the fields one by one, right? Another thing, if you remember, right? See, in original data set, they have mentioned this hire date, I column, right? They have mentioned this hire date, but if you see, my Power BI has created an hierarchy for date hierarchy. By default, it is converting my all the hire date as year wise, quarter wise, month wise, and day wise, right? I have not created that one. I have just uploaded my data set. By default, my software is getting understanding that there is a date format and it is separating which is the year, which is the quarter, which is month, and day. That is added functionality. In Excel, when we were doing this one, we were doing it manually by using some function, dated add, dated difference, and convert to year or maybe something, right? So that is the advanced features in this. So let me cover some aspects of this and then I will come back on this. So why this blue line is coming on my screen? So anyone is able to see blue line on the bottom side?
Yes, sir.
The
So
Blue line is
yes,
visible.
So this blue line is coming and from where it is coming in all the like when I was doing the power way it was visible and when I'm so let me reshare it let's say hope it will remove, right? Yes, now it has removed. I will share it again. Yes. See, whenever we are going for this BI development and BI report, so there are some principles that we are going to follow, right? How we are going to make a professional practices in terms of the BI report generation and in terms of the this dashboard creation, right? So first thing, the pre-attentive attributes they have mentioned, there are four forms, like in terms of the color, in terms of the shapes, in terms of the positions, like scatter chart, another one, and in terms of the movement as well, right? So what is the meaning and why it is required? Whenever we are able to see a lot of charts or a lot of BI reports, make sure that the cognitive load is reduced. What is the meaning of this cognitive load? Whenever you are presenting your BI report to your top management, make sure that they can understand easily. It should not be a hectic process for them to understand the different charts, different aspects or different business queries that you have run in your local machine and you are presenting in front of the top management. That is again a challenge for the top management. If they are not able to understand, your full efforts will be gone. Right. So cognitive. So as per the rule of this BI report creation, my cognitive load should be reduced. How to reduce? There are multiple methods in this. So first thing is like maybe using the color coding, maybe the shape differentiation, maybe the spatial position, or maybe the movement. We'll see one by one what is the meaning of this. Can you identify or anyone can quickly identify how many sevens or how many three or how many nines are there in this diagram or in this table? Just quickly, roughly, like a 15, 7, or 10 times of 9 is there in the table. Or let's say 7 or maybe 9, right? So it will take time to the audience that they are going for row wise rows or column by column to understand how many nine or how many times a particular digit is available in this. So what the BI report creation says or this principle of pre-attentive attribute says, make a color coding on that. If you want to highlight something, make a different color. When I was showing you the table one, it was very difficult that to identify a particular count or to identify a particular digit presence in the entire table or entire data set. By just using the first attribute of the pre-attentive uh, variable, by using the color, we are able to highlight or we are able to get where the digit is present. Not only that one, we can have a shape variations or size variations, right? If I want to highlight something, I have given a different font size to these and my job is done, right? So first thing is your shape or color. Another one here is, let's say, the orientation. See, when we are going for this line chart or maybe this bubble chart or maybe the any other chart, cluster column chart, bar chart, right? The line orientations are important to see the growth, to see the decrement, or to see the constant evolution or constant growth or maybe something. Same size is also representing, let's say, so size is also representing maybe the bigger size is having the bigger value or higher value. So in case of the heat map, if you remember when we were analyzing the employer pin code, right? And I was mentioning about the heat map. So in case of this heat map and bubble map, the size of the bubble or size of the heat map will also represent the significance that there is a higher density or higher values, right? The same way, the orientation, another one. But apart from that, if you see, this orientation I was talking. By seeing it, the orientation of the line itself, we are, or any audience is able to see that there is a growth and there is a lesser growth. In case, or maybe you can say Europe, Europe is having the faster increasing or so of XYZ than the US in some particular given data set, right? We are not bothering about the which are the real facts or real data set, but seeing the orientation, we can come up with the conclusion that the growth in Europe is higher than the United States, right? Simple one. That's just a simple orientation that we can use. What would happen if I have used a pie chart or maybe something? It would be very tough at that time that to analyze or to come up with the simple conclusions. Another one here is, let's say, the size and figure, like a small shape and bigger shape. Same thing, the higher density or higher volume with the lesser one. Another one here is, let's say, when I was mentioning about the color mode. By changing the color itself, we can understand that how many attributes we are going to present. When I was mentioning this, how many attributes, we need to give it metadata also for that, right? So in this case, and as per the human intelligence or as per the audience intelligence, you can say they will understand and they will think that whichever which are having the similar color or similar shape are belonging to the same category. Agree? This is the common trend that no need to tell to an audience that if there is a triangle that it is maybe a education background or maybe a master degree or maybe something. In case of this orange sphere or orange circle, that is the meaning. In case of the square blue, that is the meaning, right? So people will understand that what is the metadata and how you are going to represent these things. Another thing here is like width of the attribute. This is the Sankey chart, right? Might be you have used in somewhere in your organization to represent the budget allocation or manpower allocation, right? So let's say you have 10,000 or like 1,000 plus employees in your organization. How you are going to deploy to different projects? Let's say project one, team one. Let's say 300 people. Let's say project two, team two. Let's say 280 people, and so and so. So how you are going to deploy your all the manpowers for different projects and different team managers, and under that how many people are working. Let's say how many ITS profile, how many support staff, how many, what you can say, network engineer, how many your consultant, so and so. So this Sankey chart will be helpful in your domain, that how you are going to distribute or deploy the complete or entire manpower to different projects allocations, right? So bit of that one. So let's say that the first one is having the higher thicker widget. That means that that project requires a lot of people and you have already deployed that let's say 10% of the people of the company that to the particular project X, right? Another one here is, so Sankey chart is also important for HR domain. Another one here is, let's say, if I discuss this motion, right? What is the meaning of this motion? Like a scattered chart. Whenever the values are on the near to x-axis or y-axis, or maybe the on the far from the x-axis or y-axis, we can understand that there is a distribution of the values, right? Apart from that, let's say another thing here is the second principle here is First one has a pre-attentive attributes, and the second one here is Gestalt principles. So these were the German psychologists, and they have given some perception-based values. Like when I was mentioning that cognitive load should be reduced. So Gestalt principles are helpful in reducing the cognitive load, right? So let's say based on the similarity, there are four principles in this, like based on the similarity, proximity, and closure and connection. So let's say what is the meaning of the similarity here? So based on the similar color, people will understand this is the same attribute. Simple one. The first principle, similarity. Another one here is proximity. When I was mentioning about this scattered chart, whichever the values are coming or the whichever the points are coming together, we can think that this is a cluster one, cluster two, or cluster type of analysis, right? Proximity. These are having the similar values, right? Simple one. The second principle, proximity. The third one says enclosure. The boxes, the dash or the dash line boxes are showing these values are similar based on the third attribute, right? The first attribute here is age, second attribute is income. So we know that as the age is gradually increasing, income will also increase based on the experience and based on the such and such factors, right? Another thing here is what the chart says, it is trying to map the educational background as well. So how many people were having the graduation, how many masters, and how many above master's degree. So the box dashboard or a dash line or box is representing the education. That's the third one, that we can find some relationship between education degree versus age versus income, right? Principles of the enclosure. Apart from that, the principles of the connections. See, the second one here is in case of this arrow or orange line, I can say forecast, actual versus forecast. My forecasted value says decrement, increment on same with the three arrows of the triangle, right? With the three arrows of the triangle, it is showing that one. So it is good one that if we are presenting any connectivity for the time series data set, then what is happening exactly? And from where it has started and from where it is going to be forecasted, right? Connections. Now, the third point here is quickly to cover like data ink ratio. Why we should worry and what is the importance of this data ink ratio? If you remember my session 4, when I was mentioning that all the slicers or all the virtual filters on the periphery and all the charts or visualization in a dashboard should be on your center point, right? Why I was mentioning this one? Just to reduce the cognitive load or eye load. And another one here is to decrease the data ink ratio. What is the meaning of this data ink ratio? Is proportion of ink used for data divided by or numerator as total ink used in the particular chart representation. What is the meaning of this? Let's say this is the complete table. Like we have created a table for pay rate per hour by position in Power BI. The same way, if I ask you why I'm saying this as a low data ink table, because see, first column day, second column sales, third one again a day sales is fine. Nothing wrong in this. As per the data definition is correct one. But why I'm saying this as a low representation of my values? Because is there any significance of this blue line? Column wise, row wise, right? There is hardly matters, right? Just a representation that this is a record one, record two, record three, and so and so. But what will happen if and what is the meaning of this? The ink used to represent the data divided by total ink used for the complete representation. That means when I'm saying the ink used to represent the data, that is the black one, right? And ink used for total one, that is black and blue or black and violet both. So that is the unnecessary, but how to improve? It is also having the same meaning. Now my focus is more than to visit the lines. See, in my first chart, when I'm saying this low data ink table, my more and more focus is going on the lining part as a human intelligence or as a human perception. But in the second one, I am focusing on the values. That's why we are saying this is a high data ink table, right? Understanding the difference. When I have created like a data table as per the pay rate per hour, like for the different position in Power BI, it was not showing the lines, it was just showing the values, right? With a small dash or a small differentiation that this is the Nuri code. But in the first diagram where it is written as a low data ink table, it is my more and more focus is getting attracted by the lines you have created or with the fancy lines in that than the values. The second one, if I say the high data ink, I am directly focusing on the values. What is happening on day 1, what is happening on day 10 and day 15 and so on. So that's why we can increase the data ink ratio. See, now if you compare, like there are 4 tables of the similar values and similar representation, right? What is the meaning in this? The first design, bold line, like bold line. There is a formatting in Power BI, if you remember, where we can change the border color, we can change the font color, we can increase the size and so on. The first design says design A, it is creating the values along with the bold line. What is the significance of the bold line? It is hardly matters for any analytics. The line is bold one or unbold, right? The second diagram says unbold line with the same values. Again, it is hardly matter for me that you have created as fancy lines in that case. Design C, it has tried to reduce the lines, but in design 4, you see, it is showing me the right exact value immediately. So we need to think in terms of this to increase the data ink ratio by reducing the known attributes that is hardly matter for any audience. Creating a line is hardly matters. We need a values for that, right? Another one here is, let's say this is this is a line chart of some sales values per unit, right? What is the significance of the grid line here? Right. In Power BI also there is the options to enable the grid lines and to disable the grid lines. What is the significance of the grid lines here? No, nothing. Right. It is showing me the values and it is showing me the all the markers as well on the lines. The same value it is represented by the second one. But my focus is on the value side in the second one when it is showing high data in than the line created by the first chart. So we need to be very careful about these issues. Another one here is, let's say, this is very cluttered uh, chart in which a lot of things has been represented, right?
Sir, I
But
have a doubt
yes, please.
here in the
Hmm.
previous slide.
This
Why,
one or
yeah, this one.
hmm.
Example of high data ink chart. This is
Hmm.
more simpler than the first one, low data ink chart. Right.
Right.
So it is represented with the scales and you can measure it properly. So why
Hmm.
do we call that as low data ink and the simpler one as high data ink?
Because the definition
And
of
this
data.
also has the grids, like box grids and all everything, right? In this chart. Low
Right,
data
right,
ink
right,
chart.
right,
Huh.
right. So why I'm saying this as a low data ink, as per the data ink ratio definition, total ink used by the values divided by total ink used by the values plus the all other known attributes. So if you see the first one, denominator part, total ink is blue color line, right? That is representing the values only, right?
Right,
But if you see divided by blue line ink plus black line ink, that why did the ratio is coming lower, right? So what is the significance of this black line? In terms of the analytics, there is no significance of these grid lines. So why we should represent and why the audience should be distracted? Why it is crossing this 10? Why it is crossing as a 15 and so and so? It should be a simple chart with the label on. That's it, right? Grid line does not have
okay,
any significance in analytics except the values.
okay,
If there is no value, then you create n number of the grid lines. No one will be looking your chart. So that's why the ratio is coming lower here, and the ratio is coming higher because we are representing
mm,
blue line versus or divided by blue line. So hardly the total representation, if you see, the black line is coming only for the values representation 0 to 350, 0 to
yeah,
20, and sales as a and we are going to count these ink as well, right? The x-axis and y-axis ink. So it is coming near to point, but in this case it is coming 0.6 or 0.5 around by
okay,
including this grid lines ink as well, right?
okay, got it. Mm,
Hmm. So again, this is another cluttered column chart, and multiple values have been represented to make it a simpler one. See, simple one. right? So what is the significance of the grid line, horizontal line here? No significance. Only except this average value. Average line is important. So for some analysis, but other than average, there is no need of any other horizontal line in this chart. So to increase better representation and better clarity, what is the average in this and of all the 2 semesters of a particular year, right? So apart from that, if you see, like minimizing the eye trouble, fourth one, minimizing the eye trouble. When I was mentioning that the slicer should be on a periphery, what is happening here? This is the crime rate chart as a line chart for different months for 2 districts. They have plotted in this district 1, district 2, and 2 different charts. What is happening here is to understand what is the straight line and what is the dash line, right? I need to go or I need to move my eyes to the x-axis. What is the meaning of the legend of straight line district 1, dash line district 2? It took me some seconds to understand what the dash line is representing, what the straight line is representing. Agree? But what will happen if I say district 1 and district 2 in front of the line? Now my eye movement is lesser than the previous chart. When I was seeing or when I was able to understand the first chart, I need to move my eyes towards the x-axis and to understand the legend values, district 1 and district 2 as a dash line. But the second chart says, why to move your eyes to the x-axis? Why we cannot write near y to that one? Right? So they have written in front of the line itself. What is the meaning of the straight line and what is the meaning of the dash line? Dotted line, I can say, right? So in this way, we can reduce the eye movement as well. Just to write the legend at but adequate places. Sometimes if you remember, the people are writing in a vertical format. Y-axis is a vertical format. It is very hard. See, it is very hard to understand this proportion close with areas. I took few seconds to read as a vertical line. If what would happen if it is written proportion closed with arrest or maybe something. See, in the second chart, it is written as a human intelligence written like a horizontal basis, like we can read it immediately. Proportion close with arrest percentage. But in the first one, I need to I need to give a more attention and more focus. Proportion close with arrest to read vertical text, right? Simple things. The same things has been repeated in second chart. So my what the BI reports presentation says, I minimum or I travel should be minimized. Right. Another one here is we need to focus on the particular what you can say font and size so that it should be constant. Another one here is it should not be mix up. Another one here is let's say then another thing here is what is happening when we are creating a chart, right? It is creating a chart by default. But what will happen if I'm going to analyze the first chart created by Power BI as a column chart, right? What will happen if I analyze the second chart? First thing, there's a hiring in the second one because there is no grid line or horizontal line, unnecessary. Second one here is it is not a sorted one. I need to get it compare or I need to compare manually that Laredo is the second one, Dallas is the first one, and so on. The third one may be Waco or maybe something, right? But when I'm going to create a sorted chart by the software, it is better picture for me that Dallas is coming on the first one, Laredo on second, Waco on third one, without even knowing the fact and figure. And in the first one, I was taking more time to understand which one is coming on the first, which one is coming on the second by seeing the length of the column, right? By seeing the length of the column. Now, in the second one, when I've used the sorting process by default in the software, so it is easy that Dallas is coming on the first on a particular value, Laredo second, and so on and so. So we need to understand these things, and we should avoid this cluttered column chart to representing many values in a particular chart, right? Simple one. So coming back to this Power BI, let's say now. This, so now we need to follow few principles for BI reports and other one. My first says, my first analysis in this given data says, how many people have been recruited as of now? So if you remember that we have created a card for this. If I click on this, so just create a new page, we will develop a complete BI report on this page, like page 7, right? So my first analysis here is how many people have been recruited as of now. So can I count employee ID? After creating a card, what is the card? It is equivalent to summarizing the values of a particular field, right? 3,310 employees have been recruited as of now. But let's say I need to generate a complete report in this. So I'm after selecting this, clicking on this format your visuals, let's say category level on, because this is a count. I know why to represent this is a count of employee. I don't like this heading. I will create a new heading here. Let's say general and title on, right? Just click on this and just click total employees or total recruited. Right? Total recruited employees. I have created the first one. And in that case, can I use some font and formatting? So in that case, I will be creating the complete BI report for this. Let's say just giving some other values like bold or maybe a little bit higher on the size, right? Right. And then I can give it the center point. What I can say, can I give a color for that so that it should be a multicolor picture? Let's say total recruited employees. Another one here is, let's say, okay. So not that one, multiple text effects. So we can use multiple things here and to increase the visibility to have a property for that one. And if you say colored values, so I'm going to change the value of this one also. See, both the colors are similar. So it's up to you that which color you are going to like. Another one. Another thing here is, can I create a box or border for this? As of now, there is no border, so it is written as a total recruited employees, right? But let's say if I want to create a border for this, so I'm clicking on this and clicking on this colored values. Okay, so in general, there is another options, properties tooltip headers. Okay, okay, headers is different, but there is an option of border. Let me see where it is. Properties, position padding, size. Okay, position is fine. Advanced options. Let's see. Okay, tile colors, background color, border color. Yes, border color is there, and I can, let's say, if it's the same color or maybe a different color, I can use. Right, simple one. And let's say that's all. See, there is a. Okay, so it is not coming. So we can create a border for this, and it will be looking fancy whenever we are going to develop a BI report. So title is fine. Text color, background color, or I can give a background color as well. Say, let's say light color something, right? And let's say blue color, something, whichever you like. And then divider effects, tooltip belt. So in this case, category label on. Okay, fill values. So there is option of this header on another one. All right, you can use that one also. Color, that's fine. So maybe somewhere it is. Property positions. Okay, advanced options, style. Text color, border color, another one. So no issues, what you can identify that. But there is an option of creating a border as well, right? So let me see advanced options. Okay, no issues. So we'll identify somewhere, but it is there. But now my second question here is, there is, if you remember, there is a reason, term reason. Few people have left the organization, right? Few people have already left the organization, and how we are going to identify that how many has left and why we should worry about those people. So in this way, if you click, there are two methods again, how to identify that how many are still working. So let's say if I click on this, can I make a copy paste? If I click on this copy visual, can I create another one here? Let's say, just control V. It is creating another visual for me with the same formatting, right? My humble submission here is why I have used the copy paste with the same formatting. So let's say this time I'm not looking for the total recruited employee. I'm looking for, let's say, general and title, total working employee, right? Or I can say employee working, right? My first business query here is employee working. But now, how to identify this one? I need to analyze that how many has left. So if you remember that I was discussing the three types of the filter on that day, like a filter by visual, filter on a page, and filter on the complete project. Right. So what is the meaning of this? When I'm going to implement any filter condition for a particular visual only. So what I should use? I'm going to use filter for this visual. Right. The first option. The second option here is, you see, the second option is here is like add filter on this page. That will be applicable to all the visuals that we are going to create on page 7. Why I'm not using this one? Because it will also be applied for the first visual, that when I'm mentioning this total recruited employees, right? I should not affect that one. My humble submission here is it should affect only the second one. So what is my reason here? There is another option is still employed. You see, when I am saying this, I have applied a filter condition. Identify the number of the employees, those who are still with the organization. That means I'm going to analyze that is still employed. I have clicked on that one. It is showing me the count of such employees, those who are still working. Right? Agree? My second condition I have fulfilled. Now, let's say I want to analyze department wise in
Sir,
this.
can you please come again on the second
Yes.
working
Yes.
employees?
Right. So what I have done, let me remove this one. So this is the copy paste, or we can create from the scratch that a new card and just giving the value of employee ID count, right? So in this way, I have just make a copy paste application, so that the same formatting can be repeated. So what is my business query here is, I'm not looking for that how many people have been recruited. My business query says identify the number of the people who are still with the organization. We should not worry about those who have already left the organization, right? So what I'm going to use, I'm going to use a filter condition here. There is another reason, term region. There is another field in the given data set, term regions. And they have mentioned different so and so regions, why people have left the organization, and when, and the other people, those who are working, they have mentioned this and they still employed, right? From the given data set here, I column. So to employ this term region as a filter condition, there are three options of the filter conditions, like filter on the particular visualization, filter on this page, and filter on all pages. So if I apply any filter or any slicer on a particular page, it will be applicable to all. If I use the second option, filter on this page, it will also hit my first visual when I am mentioning this total recruited employees. But that is not my business query. I am looking for after that, how many are still working. So I cannot go for this filter on this page. I'm going to use this as filter on this visual part. So just drag this term region to visual part. After this count of EMP employee ID, just drag it here. Now it is asking us that basic filtering, advanced filtering, top N condition, like in Excel, we have seen top 5 manager, top 5 working people, and so and so. So top 6, top 100, and top kth value we have identified in Excel. The same way, that is showing us, it is giving us the options. So now I'm clicking on this is still employed, right? So it is showing us the value, those who are still working with this organization, employees working. And how I have changed the title here, like just clicking on this and going for this format visuals. In that case, just click on this title part and change the title, employees working, right? So let's say
Understood,
maybe
sir.
do, let's say if a different color, maybe let's say a new color, employees working. And in this case, visual part also, call out values, I can change. It's a different color, this one, right? So total recruited versus total employee working. Now, department-wise analysis in this. I know. So I'm looking for the department-wise analysis. Can I create a slicer for this? The same way, right? The same way, if I click on this slicer part, if I click on this slicer part somewhere, can I drag a department here? Let's say if I'm dragging department directly to here, how many department it is showing? 6 to 7 department it is showing. But if you remember that my page 1, when I was discussing the slicer, there are multiple methods to create a slicer, either as a tile, either as a last one, or as a relative date when I was mentioning about this, and or as your slicer bar to increase or decrease the minimum and maximum point. But in this way, in this page, I'm going to create a title bar. So how to convert this as a title bar? Just click on this slicer part, right? And then click on this slicer settings in the format visuals. Click on this slicer settings, and if it is written the vertical lace, just change to tile, the second option, right? It will convert my slicer into a button format. See, if I click on this tile, it is converting all the department name as button type. But I need a proper attention for this, or I need a proper header for this. So going back to this visual again, see department we know. So why we need a higher header icons? I'm removing that one. Apart from that, in case of this visual, slicer header, I'm switching home. See, by default, we know that admin office, executive office, ITIS, these are the department names. Why there should be a head, so there should be a heading of the department? That is not required. So as for the data ink ratio, I'm decreasing that one. I'm increasing the data ink ratio and removing this department as a header by switching off the slicer head. Now, another one here is, let's say, in case of this value, it should be visible from the far. So my font size should be increased, my font color should be different, and some other things. So let's say this time I'm going to use some other color, let's say blue, or maybe a different color this time. It is visible, not visible. So let's say this time I'm going to click some different color here. Let's say blue one. And then padding I'm decreasing. And then yeah, see in this case the border is coming, so I can make increase of the border as well. Let's say border color is red or maybe something. So proper red is not, yeah, proper red is coming here. And another one here is, let's say, background color. Can I increase the background color as well? So we can use multiple aspects of this and multiple things. See, okay, that's a bad color. So let's say maybe a different color this time. Okay, or maybe another different. So it's up to us, like which color or which type of things we are going to create, right? Another one here is I need to increase the font size of my department name so that it should be visible from the far whenever my audience is appearing. So in this case, let's say what is happening, clicking on this properties, okay, position is fine, all text. So maybe in visuals, let me go back, slicer setting, that's fine, values. In case of these values, let me bold it and let me increase the font size. See, it's better. And then let's say, okay, so more visible than the previous case. Now, can I put somewhere here? Let's say, just click here and just press somewhere here, right? And a little bit change here. Now, if you remember that, can I apply some filtering condition here? Because slicer is a virtual filter, right? We already know about this. Slicer is a virtual filter. If I click on this admin office, see how many have been recruited and how many are still working. Total recruited people were 80 and 71 are still working with this. My first analysis. If I click on this executive office, see, interesting thing, in case of this executive office, 24 have been recruited and 24 are still working. No one has left the organization. Agree with this analysis? When I am making use of this, what you can say, department wise recruited and department wise still working people analysis. See, very, very interesting fact we are coming up that executive, in case of this executive office, 24 people have been recruited and 24 are still working. But if you see my another analysis, okay, page 4, okay, page 5, let's say. Okay, so we have not analyzed that one. Not that one, not 3. Okay, so let me change the query here and which influences EMP satisfaction. If I say decreasing, right, in case of the focus mode. See, when I was analyzing this EMP satisfaction, we are coming up that department is executive office. The average of EMP satisfaction decreases by 0.9 when the people are working in executive office. Agree with this KPI or key influencer analysis in the previous case or previous session? But interesting thing, though the satisfaction rate is not up to the mark and the people are not happy with this department, But what is happening? A contradiction, a contradictory statement. In case of this executive office, 24 people have been recruited, and I still 24 are working. No one has left the organization. Interesting thing. Another thing, let's say in case of this IT and IS, 525 were recruited and 414 are still working in case of production, sales, and so and so, right? In case of this production, nearly 50% are working, 50 to 55% are working, and 45% have been left the organization. Sales, okay, then software engineering, so and so. Now, so as of now, anything to repeat? Like first analysis, department wise, how many were recruited, how many are still working. Another one here is, let's say, interesting fact, a contradictory statement from the executive office. They were not happy, people, and people are not appraising the culture of the organization, but still no one is left. No one is leaving the company also in case of the executive office, right? Now, another thing here is, if I let's say I need to mark my company logo, right? There is another option like maybe a client logo, maybe my company logo, that who has created this one. So there is another option, let's say insert. There is option image, right? Just click over the ribbon, that's insert. There is another option image. You click on this and you are able to see this, what you can say, a desktop and HRA, what you can say, HRA, where it is, HR Analytics, lesson 6 logo, right? So if I click on this, let's say logo of I am Kashipur, I'm pasting my company logo here, right? Just click on open. See, my picture is coming here as my company logo or my client logo, whichever you like, right? So Power is giving the facility that you give your logo of a company or your client logo, right? Another thing here is, so insert image is fine. Insert image, right? Go for this insert, click on this image and just give the file path, right? Simple one. Now, another thing here is when I mention a gender-wise analysis, but before that, let me click on this somewhere. Gender-wise analysis. Let's say donut chart I'm creating here this time. And gender, I'm giving as a recent and value as employee ID. Count of the employee ID, right? If I click on this focus mode, what is your interpretation that 49%, sorry, for out of so and so people, 49, why it is showing the 49? Let me see what is happening. Okay, I have clicked on particular, yes, now you can see in the focus mode. Out of 3,310, or I can say 43.87% are males and 56.13% are females. How many of you are agree that my Power BI is not representing the right value here? Agree that it has created a donut chart for the gender-wise analysis or gender-wise employee count, but I have a doubt on my Power BI skill sets or Power BI representation of the data set that it is not in the right direction. Right? Why I have a doubt on this? Any good observation in this?
Sir, it is showing the total number of employees who joined, not presently working.
Right. Why I should worry those who have already left my organization? I agree, completely agree with this viewpoint. Why, as of now in today's analysis, why I should worry about those who have already left my organization? Why I should worry? Right? So what I need to do? I need to include a filter condition, filter on this visualization, term regions. What is that? Still employed. See, now the situation is changed, right? Another one here is when I was mentioning out the Gestalt principles or pre-attentive attributes, what is blue color and what is the light blue color? I may be confused. I need a real sense. Let's say for a hot temperature, it should be represented by the red color, for a cold temperature, blue color or green color, and so and so. For icing condition, it should be a white color, or for let's say greening or green areas, it should be a green color, like trees and forest, another one. So in the same way, I need to give the adequate color for this female and male. So let's say just click on this, and there is another option in case of this slices. male and female. Can I change the color? For female, let's say the pink, right? Or maybe a better color, right? And for male, maybe a dark blue, right? Simple one. So it will give us the real sense that which are the colors are getting represented. So let's say for in case of the heat map, another one, we usually have the red color for the hot temperatures or hot climates, right? Fields or areas. In case of this cold temperature, green or blue. For icing or river, it's a white color, right? So and so, some realistic color we are giving. The same way I have used the two color here for female and male, just to represent that audience can understand as per the pre-attentive attributes, right? That's why I have discussed this one. Now, another thing here is it is showing me the count of employee ID by gender. I'm not happy with this title. I need to change this title as well. Legends of. See, first thing, why I have given a color code, female and male, so that I can increase the data ink ratio here. How? See, gender, female and male, by color itself, we are able to understand now why I should write as a legend. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch off the legend. See, by color coding itself, I can understand female and female. Now, the second thing here is how to increase more data ink ratio here. Count of EMP-ID by gender. I'm not happy with this title. I need to reduce a small title. See, title on, why I should write a lengthy one? Gender representation. That's it. I can write gender representation. That's it. My title is fancy now. Now, if I click on this, going back to this report, see, can I paste somewhere here? Gender representation. Or let it be in the center point. So in this case, center, right? And a little bit bold so that it should be visible and maybe a higher size. Yes. So gender representation. If I click on this, admin office, how many people? 80 were there, 71 are still working. Out of 71, how many males and females? 35 are males and 36 are females. Right? If I click on this also, see, if I click on the female side, it is showing me the values. So in case of this Power BI, it is added functionality that if you click on a particular chart or particular part of a chart, it is showing you the further details on that. So gender representation is fine. Now, why I was worrying about this key influencer EMP satisfaction, right? Let me analyze that one also. So please, whenever you are creating a new visual, please save it, right? Because at the end of this session or maybe at the end of this exercise, you are going to submit as a PDF, right? I will show you how to convert this into PDF and that you can directly upload. So simple exercise for CP6.
When I
Yes,
create
please.
this donut chart,
Hmm.
I'm able to view only the total count. I'm not able to view two different count.
Okay, so just let me stop sharing. So please share your screen. So let me stop sharing. And just start sharing your screen so that I can see what is happening and why it is not showing the two things.
Just
So at the end, I will show you how to convert this as a PDF or as a or JPG, and you can directly upload that one, right? As a CP6 or CP5, whatever the number.
is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, yes. So in this case, just click on your donut chart. See, you have not given a legend. Just click on this donut chart and give legend as a gender. Count you have given as a value.
Okay.
And just in case of this legend, just drag gender from the data. Yes, here. Gender to
Here.
legend. You're right.
Okay. Okay,
Now it
sir,
is
got
working.
it.
है ना?
Yes.
Now, see, when I was mentioning about this EMP satisfaction, right? And I was worrying about this key influencer and another one. Let me analyze the EMP satisfaction as well. So let me remove this one, filter condition. EMP satisfaction. Let's say if I click another card, let's say card 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry for that. So clicking another card here, 1, 2, 3. Right. Another thing here is I'm going to create EMP satisfaction. So let's say this time I'm looking for this field EMP satisfaction. So by default, it is showing me the sum of EMP satisfaction that I'm not looking for. I'm looking for average of EMP satisfaction. See, 3.89. I agree. But still, that is for all that have been recruited by the company, all the 3,000 plus employees. That is not my call. My call here is I'm looking, see, one thing very important here. If I click on this, if I click on, or let me just give a formatting and just give a title for that, and then I will show you very interesting insight in this. Just click on this and let's say category level off, because we know, and call out values, let's say different color this time. Maybe put color, more colors. I can maybe green color, maybe something, right? And then what is happening? More colors, green color, and okay. So another one here is, let's say, category level of general, and then let me click on this title on, right? If I click on this title on, and let's say EMP satisfaction, and it should be, let's say, in the middle, and let's say background color a little bit different, maybe green color something this time, right? And let's say the font size also I'm going to change. Font size I'm going to change with green color, right? So maybe red color, or maybe any good color, right, of your choice, maybe this one, and little bit bold, increase of your title heading, right? Another thing here is, let's say, EMP satisfaction I have created here. And another thing, let me change the color for the font size as well. Call out values, color. Let's say the same color, green color, right? And bold. Yes. So this is the employee satisfaction that is coming as a 3.89 for those people who have been recruited in the organization. But what is happening? Let's say if I click a copy paste of this, Control C or Control copy visuals. If I'm pasting somewhere here, let's say copy paste, pasting somewhere here and putting this diagram a little bit here, right? Another one. See, now if you see, and very, very interesting thing, when the total recruited employees were there, it was the employee satisfaction 3.89. But what is happening for the currently working employees? What is the satisfaction rate, average satisfaction rate of them? Can I use a filter condition in this? The second one, right? I'm looking for the employee satisfaction rate for those who are still working in my organization, right? See, that means company has taken something significant measures to increase the employee satisfaction when when the people started leaving the organization. Agree. See, the first one, when I'm using the employee satisfaction of all the 3,310 employees, it was coming around 3.89. When I am looking for the employees who are still working, the employee satisfaction has gradually increased and it is becoming 3.93. It is understood that the company or HR department has, or maybe the company policy has been revised, or some measurements has been taken to take care of the employee satisfaction. Agree. Now, another thing here is, let me check. What is my crucially important point? Executive office. See, the lowest employee satisfaction in this organization, in this department, right? The lowest employee satisfaction for this department, executive office. Interesting thing here is, though the EMP satisfaction is lowest for this or department, but still no one is leaving the organization. Very, very interesting fact, a contradictory fact, right? In case of this IT and IS, see, a lot of things, software engineering, admission office, administrative office, so and so, right? Now, as of now, we have used only card, slicers, donut chart, and image insertion. Can I create a multi-row card? Let's say what will happen. Let's say what will happen if I'm looking for a multi-card. Where it is? Yeah, multi-row card. This time I'm going to click on this multi-row card. Let's say somewhere. Okay. I'm selecting on the blank canvas and that's selecting on this multi-row card here. Now, I'm looking for to create a multi-row card like
So 1 minute,
but
how you select this? Because once I select no, all the other boxes, all the cards value changes. So how you come with a new one?
okay. So instead of just clicking on a existing visual, just click somewhere on the blank visuals like this, right? Just click
So
on
you do
blank.
right click or what simply?
No. Just simply just clicks on the blank canvas, right?
Okay.
And after that, just select a multi-row card here. So it will be creating a new card. Then the like replacing the existing one.
I got it.
Right? So in this case, I'm clicking on this multi-row card and let's say department. I'm dragging directly value as a multi card department and number of another thing here is employee ID. Count of employee ID, I can say. If you see in a focus mode, whatever we are able to see, it is coming as a summary. But summary for whom? For all the recruited employees. What I should use? I am going to use the term region here, those who are still working only. Right? See, now it is getting changed. Right? Another one here is, let's say, what will happen? And another thing, why I should write count of employee ID? It is understood that how many people are working in a particular department. Let's say category level of. That's it. My job is done. See? And little bit of readjustment on my screen. See? What I have done, I have created a multi-row card. And for that, see, let me just little bit adjustment on my screen. Perfect. Right? Can I make use of some bold and other one formatting changes? General, title, okay, visuals, call out values, right? Bold, little bit bold. See, simple or maybe simple. That's fine. Right? So, multi-row card. If I click on anyone, let's say female, number of females or males. See, it is showing me the complete analysis in this. How many males are working in admin office, how many in executive office, how many in ITS and production, so and so department. Right? See, if I click on the female side, what will happen? How many people, how many females are working on each department? So the summary at each category, or I can say summary department wise. So maybe here is a department, I can create a multi-card for the position wise analysis as well, right? Can we create a position wise multi-card? Yes. So based on the different positions, how many males and how many females we can analyze. Can we do it for this one? Let's say if I create another multi-card here, let's say multi-row card again. And this time I'm not clicking on this department. I'm going for the position wise. How many males, how many females, and how many in a particular position. So let's say position wise. And the second one here is employee count or employee ID. Right? Simple one. Now the same formatting, little bit category level off. And then call out values little bit bold. Right? And see. Now another thing here is very interesting. See, all the position wise employee count is coming on my screen. Let's say just putting somewhere here, right? Like this. Now, can I analyze something more in this? Let's say how many males and how many females. Okay, females as well. Okay, so somewhere I have ticked. Yes. So this is the complete picture. Now, if I ask you that analyze the males and females condition or maybe something, see, in case of these males, position wise, and they are giving the employee satisfaction as well. See, in admin office and so position wise, another one, like another analysis, multi-row card analysis, right? Simple. Now, another interesting thing here is, can I analyze something like year-wise recruitment? Year-wise. Another thing here is, another thing, very interesting, I forgot. I have not added the term regions here. It is showing me for all the 3,310. So that is not my requirement. I need to add term reason here, those who are still working. That's it. Now it is the right picture. Let me check whether we have applied. Yes, we have applied it here also. So this is a multi-row card. Now, can I analyze something more beyond this? Recruitment trend, right? Recruitment trend I'm going to analyze this time. So what is happening here? Let's say, if I click on the line chart, because I'm saying this is a recruitment, year-wise recruitment. So let's say line chart, this time I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to click on, let's say, on x-axis, it should be year. So by default, Power BI has created a date hierarchy for us, right? And another thing here is I'm going to drag year as x-axis, right? And employee count on my y-axis. That's it. So if you click on this focus, if you are clicking on this focus mode, can I click on, see, this is the trend. In company started in 2006, a company has started recruiting in 2006 till 2017, it has given the data set, right? See, can I make use of, let's say, what you can say, this one. Y-axis, x-axis, grid lines, no leader of the grid lines, mark data labels on. If I click on this data label on, you are able to see the picture, right? Simple. You are able to see that how many people have been recruited in a particular year. Simple one. If I click on this marker as well, I can click on this marker as well. Where are the significant values, right? And another one here is simple, journal. So count of employee ID by year, I don't like the title. Can I make use of this year-wise recruitment, right? I'm going to change this title here, year-wise recruitment, right? Year-wise recruitment. Simple. Now, if I click on back, see, this is my another analysis in this, right? And like this. Now, interesting thing here is, can I see the trend of administrative office? See, how many people have been recruited and in which year have been recruited? See, in 2006, no one was recruited in administrative office. It started from 2008 to 2017, right? So and so, if I click on this executive office, see, my first executive office employee was recruited in 2012, and 6 were recruited in 14, and 16 were recruited in 2015. So and so, IT and IS, see, a lot of, see, in case of this IT and IS, see, a lot of fluctuations. In case of this production, see, sales, software engineering. In case of sales, very, very interesting. In 2011, 80 people were recruited, and again, a lot of people have left the organization in 2013, right? That's why it is on a lower peak at that time. And again, a few people were recruited in what is that? Sales department. If you remember my earlier analysis, when I was showing you the page 3, sorry. Department sales, let me give in a focus mode. Average MP satisfaction increases by the department sales. Then I was analyzing the key influencer that most of the people are liking to work in the department of sales. But what it is showing me here are the page 7. See, in case of the sales, most of the people left the organization after the recruitment, right? See, a lot of fluctuation. Again, a contradictory statement that something is there. Though the static says the employee satisfaction is on higher side, 4.23, when the executive office has only 3.0 as MP satisfaction. And most of the turning rate is happening in sales department only. Agree? See the scenario. How many people have been recruited is still working. What has happened in that case? Another interesting thing here is software engineering. Okay, in case of this production, see, most of the people The biggest department, if you see, the biggest department is 2000, like production department. Yeah, I agree. Executive office is smallest department there where 24 people are working, rest are in between that. But another insight here is in terms of the sales, in 2011, 80 people were recruited. In 2012, 55, then 28, and then 96 in 24. Sorry, 2014, right? And so and so. Another thing here is, if you see, out of 335, 290 are working. That means only and only 45 people have left the organization after the recruitment, right? That's why EMP satisfaction is coming more and more on the higher side, right? Another picture, why it is showing that the most likable department is sales because the EMP satisfaction figure says 4.23 and 4.4525. Another one is only 45 people have left the organization. Can I analyze why the people have left the organization? See, the department sales. If I click on this sales, let me see in a focus mode. In case of this department sales, and see, these people have only left. Some are due to the military reasons, some were unhappy. Another one go to another position, career change, and return to school. So no big cause in terms of the sales department. But in case of this, what you can say, software engineering. See, a lot of things we can correlate after that, right? And if I click on the software engineering, see, another position, attendance, medical issues, unhappy, and so and so. A lot of things, right? So we can relate by analyzing this that how or what the company policies need to be updated or to change when there is something happening inside a particular department, position wise, or maybe throughout the organization, right? So this is the complete year-wise recruitment analysis, and we have created multiple things like slicers, multi-row card, multi-row card, or card, then donut chart instead of image, line chart. Still to work with a lot of fields to analyze more things to the company culture or company organization culture, right? So as of now, any doubt or anything to repeat? So, and whenever you are making any visual, please make sure that you are making a save or control S, so that you should not lose any visual part or any exercise that you have already done. So as of now, any doubt or anything to repeat or anything to rediscuss in this?
Sir, for me in BI, this higher date, it's not
Okay.
coming year, quarter, month. That box you are having
Okay.
no higher date beside that. So I
Right,
did
right.
right click and create hierarchy, but still it is not coming.
Okay, so let me show you where is the problem, right? So let's say if I click on this higher date, right? If I click on this and there is an option for this create hierarchy, that's fine. Let me go to this data model first, right? Data model or Power Query, I can say. This is clicking on this one. So let me go for this Power Query first by clicking on the entire data set or Power Query. Edit query, I'm saying this, right? And now in case of this data date, what is happening in your case, if I'm correctly understanding,
Okay.
in case of this date, just get it to be loaded. File path, okay, what is error in this? So in case of this, what is it showing this? Basic, advanced, Excel, okay. That's fine. Okay, so what is happening in your case? No, this is the data format. When I was saying this data type, it is not, it is maybe ABC instead of the date format, right? So
Okay.
let's say it is not getting loaded here. So maybe some issues. And let me see what is happening in this. Session 5 is fine. That okay, session 6 if I click. Session 5 is there, right? So why it is showing me error? I don't know. But what is happening in your case? Let's say just click on this Power Query part, or let me stop sharing and I will instruct you that how to correct this one. right? Just
Okay.
share your screen and I will show you where is the mistake. So it is not understanding the date as a date data type. That's why it is not creating a hierarchy for you.
Okay. So give me just 2-3 minutes. I have
Huh.
to log in through my laptop.
Okay. Hannah. So I'm just saying, otherwise I would
Okay,
have
in
shown
break,
in my
just
laptop.
before going to break, I'll just do that.
Right, Hannah. So what is see, in my case, if you see, it is understanding date as a date data type, but in your case, it is understanding as a text, ABC or maybe something. So by default, my query is not working as of now, maybe some issues. Let me figure it out. But in case of this, clicking on this data, right,
Okay, 1
and
minute. I'll just show you.
edit query, and could not find a file path. See users use desktop HRS session 5 XLS. So why it is not showing me session 5 XLS? It is there, right? Yes. So just click on this data over the ribbon or like data over the right corner. Where you have uploaded data, right? Three dots. Just click on this, edit query. It is not moving. So after edited query, it is not moving. I think the screen has frozen.
You can see my screen.
Yeah, I am able to see, but after edit query, it is not moving. So I'm not able to see what is happening when you click on the three dots and after you click on this edit query.
I have clicked on edit query. Then
And
this
after that,
data is coming, and then I can move the screen. All the datas are there.
no, but we are not able to see. So what you can do, you need to share the entire screen. So that is a new pop-up is coming, and that is not visible in a shared mode. So the which is like you have shared only one screen. That's why we are not able to see the pop-up.
Okay, I got it.
So just reshare and yeah, now it is visible. So in case of this date, see, it is written as a 1, 2, 3. Just higher
Yeah.
date, just convert into a date data format. Just click on 1, 2, 3 here.
Yes.
And then convert into date format. Yes, just click on that and close and apply. Replace current.
This I should do replace current.
Right. Now it is becoming higher date. Close and apply.
Where is close and apply?
Below the file on the top left corner.
Okay. Yes.
Close and apply. Just click on this.
Hmm.
Right. So it will be working and it will be considering this as a data type now. So that was a mistake in your case, right?
Okay.
So let me share my screen then. And so something is there, maybe it is not getting the right file path today. So I will correct that one also. But the process is the same. Let me close this and this one. Right. So just to complete that one, and still like a lot of fields we are going to analyze from the HR perspective. So what we can do, and like another thing here is like we have to analyze the race diversity. We have to analyze the position-wise analysis, manager, why they have given a manager name, and another thing like I was mentioning about this key influencer as a manager name. When the people are liking, a few managers to work with them, and few are there that for which people don't like to work in their team. So and so. Another one here is like we need to analyze the recruitment source as well for the company perspective for the next recruitment planning. So please complete as of now at these points. Another one, another aspects I will be showing after the break. And another thing here is like what is the use of any other options available over the in Power BI, right? While we are creating the report one, report two, or so and so, and make sure that you are making a save of this, right? So this is the 10:35 in look. What we can do, we can have a 10 minutes break, and after we will continue the discussion and some more analysis and more functionality given by the Power BI for the HR perspective, right? Please complete till this point. Because after the session, I will ask you to convert all these into a JPG format or PDF format that you can directly upload as a CP, right? So see you in 10 minutes, please. Hi, a very good morning again. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great. I hope that you have completed till this point. Let me show you another aspect of this, this line chart, right? So what is happening if I click on this line chart that we have created for recruitment analysis, and let's say right click on this. There is another options like include, exclude, and analyze or summarize. If I click on the summarize, it will be like a smart narrative practice, like a chat GPT based or AI based summary it will create. Another thing here is if I include or exclude without going back to the table or without going back to the like a Power Pivot or Power Query, I can make a more modification from here that I don't want to use, let's say 2011 or 2012, and from the chart it should be excluded some reason. It can do that one. Apart from that, there is another option, explain the increase. When I click on the higher peak or the like high peak in this diagram, if I click on this explain the increase, it is going to click or it is going to analyze something more based on your capital or maybe something, and it will show you some other interesting insight in this. So let's say just running the query. Yes. So now see, whatever the parameter we have taken, it is showing us the summary as a waterfall chart. What is the meaning of this waterfall chart? It is showing us from the beginning that what is happening till what are the changes, either positive or either negative side, and finally what is the final one. So in 2011, in case of this, so it is showing all these aspects when I said, and the first one is like year wise and position wise, year wise and manager name wise. Then third one here is like year wise and time per term regions, right? Another one here is let's say any other regions, right? So it is, see,
Sir,
wonderful thing here. Yes, please.
sir, I have joined just now. How did you do this?
Okay, so let me click on this or let me go back on this chart. Yes. So what I was showing, just when we have created this recruitment analysis chart or recruitment line chart, right? Trend line. Just click on this somewhere, just select any point, maybe high peak or low peak, right? And apart from that, just right click on this. There are options like a show as a table. It will convert the visual as a table format, like we have seen the pay rate by position. Apart from that, include and exclude. If I don't want to include in a single chart, let's say 2011, 2012, or 2013, it will exclude also without going to make a modification in the data set. Another one here is if I click on the summarize, it will write a smart narrative for us, like we have seen in the last session, that how to use the smart narrative, and it will create a content for the based on the visual. Apart from that, there is another option like analyze. In case of this analyze, it is showing thus explain the increase. If I hit this one, explain the increase, I'm looking for the reasons why it is happening and for which factor or which factors are responsible for this. So it is showing us this option, employee ID and so, and it is creating a waterfall chart. Waterfall chart is used for to see the increment or decrement or maybe the higher growth or lower growth or higher profit or lower profit or negative profit as in the same terms, and at the end it is showing the final cumulative value. So it is representing a lot of analysis based on the factors we have taken as of now in this visuals in the entire page, right? See, year and gender, year and employee name, and so and so. So it is giving us a lot of analysis in this in case of explain the increase or explain the cause, right? Simple one. Now, if you have completed at this at this point, now just click on another page. Let me create another page, page 8. Till now, we have not analyzed the managers, or let's say, till now we have not analyzed the race diversity here, right? Can I create or can I use, let's say, just selecting somewhere here, and I'm clicking this time, okay, not this one. Just clicking somewhere on blank canvas and just click on this area chart. Right? I'm clicking on this area chart and now I'm looking for to analyze the race diversity of the organization. Right? So let's say if I click on this race diversity on, let's say, x-axis, right? And on y-axis, let me count the employee ID. Simple one. Now, in case of this focus mode, if I click on the zoom part, see, this is my race diversity: white, black, African, Asian, two or more races, Hispanic and American Indian, or maybe Alaska Native, another one. This is the summary. Can I make use of this data label on so that we can have another insight on this, data label on and markers on. Right now, and title, let me little bit change in case of this title. Let's say race diversity. Instead of writing this count of employee ID, another one, I'm just directly hitting this race diversity, right? Race diversity. Now, another interesting thing here is, if I click on this, see how many people are white? Most of the English people, right? The 2,000 and more people, and so and so. But this is the scenario for those who have been recruited in the company, right? This is not the complete picture of all these employees who are still working. So what I should use? I'm going to use here as a filter condition, term region use, right? So what I should use is still working or is still employed with the organization. So this is the right picture of as of now situation in the company. Out of 2,210 employee, how many people are white, how many people are so and so, and how many people are Asian and other races, right? Now, if I click on here, right, let's see, I'm putting somewhere on the bottom side, right? There is another option. See, in page 7, we have created some slicers and some buttons as well, right? Let's say if I click on this page 8, right, there is another option. Let's say where it is, optimize, not optimize, view. Yeah, in case of this view over the ribbon, there is another option, sync slicers, right? What is the meaning of the sync slicer if I hit on this, right? Okay, so let me select the slicer first. This slicer, right? I'm selecting this one. Now it is showing us the option that this slicers on how many pages you want. So let's say if I click on this page 7 and page 8, my all the slicers that I have created, it should be sync on all the pages that I'm looking for. So what I have done, I have instantly ticked on page 8 and page 7. Page 7 we have created, and page 8 it should be replicated by default. So if I click on this, and let's say if in advanced option, okay. See, in case of the page 8, my slicer is coming back, right? Now, if I click on this executive office, see, IT and IS, production, sales, software engineering, right? A lot of things you can analyze by clicking on this slicer part. So, is the use of this sync slicer? You create a slicer on a particular page and it can be added to multiple pages. See, interesting thing here is if you click on this executive office, what is the race diversity? Only the white, right? White is becoming a dot because in case of this executive office where the 24 people are working, 24 were recruited, 24 are still working, no one has left the company, and all the 24 people are white people, right? All the 24 people are belonging to one race only. See, while in others, they are maintaining the race diversity. See, another aspect of this, agree, right? So anything to repeat in this? So what I have done, I have created a area chart for this. Line chart is also fine. Column chart is also fine. But intentionally, I have have created this one area chart so that you can see the distribution of employees based on the or race diversity of the employees in the organization for those employees who are still working, right? See, simple one, right? Another thing here is, let's say, I'm looking for another page here. Let's say page 9 I have created here. I'm looking for the analysis of term regions, right? Term regions. I'm looking for this one. So what I should use, let's say this time I'm going to create tree map. If you remember my page 3 or page 2, I have created this decomposition tree when I was looking for the root cause analysis why the people are leaving my organization, right? But this time I am looking for on page 9, I'm looking for the recruitment source analysis from where we are getting more and more people, right? From where more and more people we are recruiting. So let's say if I click on this and clicking on this tree map here, right? And then I'm clicking on this recruitment source as a category. Simple. And then I'm using this EMP ID as a count. Here it is, value. MPID I'm using as a value here. See, interesting thing. If I click on this data label on, let's say data label ons, you are able to see, and let's say a little bit bold. Okay, so let me change the title here, right? Recruitment source, simple one, right? What is the use of this beat like a tree map here, right? I would have created the any other chart like a pie chart or maybe column cluster chart, combo chart, or maybe something. Why I have actually selected this? So let's say then spacing header tooltip is on, and this one, sorry, not this one, visuals. So colors, I can use a different thing, no issues. And then data labels on, category labels on. So category labels is on both side, and let's say increase in the font size, right? Then color white is fine. Data labels on, and let's say let me change the color white. Instead of this white, let's say some interesting color, or maybe some bold color as well, right? Increase in the font size. Now you are able to see. See, in case of this tree map, what I have created, you are able to see the complete picture of your recruitment analysis, like or recruitment source, from where the company is recruiting, or which source the company is recruiting more and more people. So first one here is employee referrals, right? What this is the complete picture for all these employees, those who have been recruited, like what you can say, all the 3,000 plus employees. I have not applied any what you can say, any term regions or any filter in this, those who are still working, right? Now you are able to see your major recruitment source is employee referral. More and more people were recruited through employee referral. The second one here is your search engine, then diversity wise diverse job fairs, and so and so. So what is the advantage of creating a B tree here, or tree map, I can say? It is showing each and every category, right? It's showing each and every category along with your numbers. But what will happen if I'm creating any other chart? It will be not going me, or it will not be representing the correct picture, how many from one category, right? And the size of a box representing the higher value. Like I was mentioning in case of this pre-attentive attributes, the size of so size of a shape is also representing that which one is having the higher value. So we are following this principles of VI report, right? So anything to repeat, or anything or any doubt in B tree map or tree creation,
So
right?
what are all the fields you have used in the tree map?
Sorry, I missed the voice, like due to the voice break, I missed some statement. What is?
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, please.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
What are all the fields you have used in
Okay.
the tree map?
Tree map. I have used this recruitment source first as a category so that you should understand. And the second one is
Okay.
value as a count of employee.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Right. And let's say if I click on page 7 again, and selecting the slicer back, right? Selecting my slicers again, let's say not sales, slicers again, and clicking on this sync slicers to page number 9 as well, right? My slicer should also be going back to there, and page 9 as well. So if I click on this page 9, my slicer is coming back here. And if you click on this executive office, all employees were recruited. See, now department wise, you can see that how many people were recruited from which source. Like in case of this executive office, the source was pay per click, and the second one was employee referral. 18 plus 6 employee. In case of admin office, you can see multiple portals, production. See, in case of the production, the company is using more and more channels to recruit as recruitment source. In case of souls, is software engineering, and so, right? So this is about your B tree map or a tree map when we are going to analyze this, your recruitment source along with the number, another one. Now, another thing here is, let me click on the next page, or maybe on the same page I can create. So let me reduce the size of this B tree.
So can you explain once more how you are syncing the slicers from page 7 to page 8, page
Okay.
9?
Right. So on page 7, like I have created a slicer and then just select a slicer here, right? And then click on this view over the ribbon and there is option sync slicer. Just click on this. It is clicking the options like which page you want to make visible of the selected slicer. Just click on that one, right? And once you have clicked on this one, like page 8, page 9, and other one, so it will be visible on the particular page also. So sync slicer is just replicating your slicer functionality to the desired pages on which you want the slicer functionality coming back, right? Now, another thing here is, as of now, we have not analyzed the managers. Like another key influencer point was the managers. Let me analyze that one also. So let's say just reducing the size of this one. Let's say here I'm going to analyze the managers. Right. Now, if I click on this, let's say clustered bar chart or column chart, whichever you like. Let's say clustered bar chart I have created this time. Now my analysis says that we need to analyze the manager's column, right? So let's say how many people are working under each manager, right? So let's say if I click on this manager name as, let's say, what are the fields? Y-axis, manager name on the Y-axis and employee ID as x-axis, simple one. See, now if I click on this focus mode, you are able to see that Elijah Gray, yeah, is the manager who is having the biggest team in the organization. And board of directors is hardly one or two. And some NA is also written. So we have not pre-cleaned the data set. That's why it is the NA is coming, right? So another aspect is pre-clean or cleaning of the data set before we analyze. Another one here is, let's say, I'm looking for those employees or the current team culture. So what I need to do, I need to analyze only those people who are still working with the company. So what I should use, I am going to use this add filter, those who are still working. Agree. Another one here is if I click on this chart and clicking on this format, let me click on this data levels on. How many people are working with Aliza Gray and Leavig and Miller and so and so. See, the biggest team is led by Aliza Gray and the team size is of 199. Agree. By default, it is showing me the sorted order. Nothing wrong in this, right? By default, it is showing me the sorted order, right? But if I'm looking for only the top 5 managers, those are having the biggest team. So what is there? Another thing here is, let's say, can I use another condition here? After making first filter condition that it should be the people, those who are still working with the organization, I'm using another condition here. Let's say the manager name or top 5 managers, let's say top 5 managers. So what is happening? Term regions, basic field. Yes, it is coming here. Yes. So I have typed 2 times. Let me close one. Yes. First thing we have applied as still employed. The second one I'm saying this name. It should not be a basic filtering. Now I'm going to select top N managers only, right? Let's say top 7 managers I'm looking for, right? And by which value? By the team size. So how to calculate the team size? By counting of the employee ID. See, if I click on this apply filter, my top 7 managers are on my screen. Agree with this? The top 7 manager who is currently leading the biggest team in the organization. Simple one. This time I've applied 2 filters condition on a single visual. Simple one. Need a repeat or anything or any doubt in this? Top 7 managers, like in Excel also we have identified top kth value or bottom value, right? So again in this top 1, bottom 1, right? Bottom 7. See, if I click on this apply filter, see this one. These are the direct managers, those who are working with the least team or with the smallest team. So in case of this top N, if I'm clicking on this top 7 or top, this one, apply filter, right? So 190.19, but now I'm looking for the Aliza Gray, which department he or she is belonging, right? I agree that from this analysis, we are able to identify Aliza Gray is a popular manager or maybe a manager who is working with the biggest team in the organization. Now, I'm looking for to identify the department name of this Aliza Gray, right? So, going back to this report again, when I'm saying Department of Aliza Gray, right? Can I analyze from this one? If I click on this Aliza Gray, if I click on this Aliza Gray, which department? That is not showing or not reflecting. Okay, Aliza Gray, or let's say, if I click on this production, okay, ITIS, see, admin office, who are the top 7 managers? See, now we can go for the department-wise analysis as well, like a department-wise, who are the 7 top managers, those who are leading the biggest team. In case of executive office, Peter one and Janet and board of directors, then IT and IS. See, these are the 7 top managers. In case of this production, Aliza Gray is coming in production department, right? Another thing here is if in case of the sales, in case of the software engineering, see, right? So in case of this software engineering, there are no 7 managers. There are only 4 managers. So that's why it is showing me the only top 4 managers. Agree? Those who are leading the team of 48, 25, 5, and 1. Agree? Now, another thing here is, let's say, going back to this, till now we have not analyzed like position-wise analysis, like position-wise. When I was saying the key influencer as position-wise, we need to check that one also. Let me create another page here. Let's say I'm creating another page, page 10. And then let me create position-wise analysis. So let's say this time I'm going to create another bar chart here, right? Position-wise, let's say on y-axis, my positions, and employee ID on my x-axis, right? Now, if you in a focus mode, you are able to see production technician 1, production technician 2, area sales, and so and so. These are the products. Your organizational structure based on the positions, right? Now, if I click on this, let's say going just clicking on this format, data label on, right? And then what I can say, changing of the title also, right? So title is should look good. Position wise employees, right? And then now if I click on the back and we are able to see, I need to bring my slicers back here. So giving the space for slicers. And then let's say going on to page 7, clicking on my slicer first, and then clicking on the sync slicer, right? On page 10 as well, right? Now, if I click on this page 10, you are able to see in each department, what are the positions and how many people are working. See, agree? So as of now, any doubt or anything to repeat? I've created n number of the analytics or n number of the aspects from HR perspective, like department wise, position wise, manager wise, and pay rate wise, race diversity, recruitment source, term region as well. Another thing here is what will happen if I need to publish it, right? Let me close this one. Now, another challenge here is to publish, right? If I make a copy of copy visuals, right? Can I come back to page 7? Right, page 7 is more or less full. Page 8. Okay. In page 8, I can make use of the combination, right? I'm pasting here. If I paste, Control V. Okay. So what is happening to previous chart? Yes. So what I have done, I have created multiple pages, but now I'm pasting in terms of a BI report. So position wise employee I have pasted here. Then page 9, let me click on this V chart as well. right? Copy visuals and pasting somewhere in page 8, right? So that you can see the complete or I can say cross impact analysis on this. Let's say I'm just pasting somewhere here, equipment source as well, and making this slicer body. So we need to make some little bit adjustment on our screen so that we can fit more and more charts for a PI report. So let's say race diversity, I'm just making this more adjustment, right? And this chart I'm pasting somewhere here, right? Simple one, easy. Multiple aspects, multiple things we have analyzed, and then let's say, yeah. Another thing here is page 9, count of employee ID by manager name. Just last chart I'm going to paste on this on page 8, right? And then what will happen? We'll see. If I click on this, control V. Simple one. Top 7 managers on my screen for a particular department or particular position, right? Now, if I click on this, let's say this one, page 1 and page 2, right? That I have created. Simple. So whatever we have done as an analysis, I have made a summary on page 7 and page 8, right? See, this one and this one. Okay. Page 9 and page 10, I have copied all the visuals and pasted in page 8. Simple one. Now, another thing here is, let me save it first. First thing we have seen, this sync slicer, right? Now let me cover one by one all the options available in the Power BI, right? The first option here is, let me cover from the base, like first one, get data we have already covered. Dataverse is used when we have a sign-in application. What is the meaning of sign-in application? Whenever we have used this signing login credential here in Power BI, we can go for the more visuals. See, what is available here, get more visuals. If I click on this more visuals, whatever the options available in Power View, let's say Choropleth, another one, or maybe higher versions of the visuals. If I click on this get more visuals, it is asking me the login details. See, so I need to fill my login credential first, and then it will be allowing me like App Store of a mobile equivalent, right? So it is equivalent of your mobile applications or mobile app store where you can download more visuals or more stickers in terms of the mobile definition. So it will be enhancing your analytical capabilities or visualization capabilities. So another thing here is and from Dataverse, another one here is we can go for these new visuals. Again, the same thing. Text box we have already seen. We can create a name and we can. So let's say if I want to create my name here also, that's what I'm looking for. So what I should write? Let's say, okay, that is value. So let's say if I am looking for my name here, right? So who has created this dashboard? Let's say Harish, right? That's simple. And you can create a dynamic value update with your data as well, like anytime, every time. So let's say I'm Harish or maybe something. So it's up to you. So you can even make a question type of answer. You can make use of this as a text box to write your name, right? So let me remove this one. And here you can write here, right? Here you can write Harish. See, in the text box, it is going to be written, and let me increase the size 24, not 24, or maybe let's say 40. So my name is coming here, and you can see as increment of the size, let's say 2024. See, my name is coming, and I can paste somewhere here that who has created this one. I have created this one. And any other formatting we can use, like custom another one. So pasting, once you have created this one, and after that you can paste somewhere. Wherever the space is left, you can just paste over here, just right. The simple one. So I'm pasting my name here inside of the outside of this, so that you can remember that who has created. So similarly, you are going to write your name when you are going to create a PDF or JPG, so that I can understand that you have created this dashboard. And that is you are going to upload as a JPG or as a PDF. So I've written my name here, who has created by Harish, or like in art painting, we usually write our name. So text box I have created, I have written my name here, right? Simple one. Any other thing like a quick measure. So in case of these quick measures, there are predefined formulas like average per category, variance per category, and so on. So we can directly hit after selecting a visual, right? Simple one. Another one, let's say, quick measures of, right? Another one here is publish, right? If I click on this publish, it is asking me the login credential. Okay, save it. Now it is asking us my credential for Power BI services. So when I was saying this, like we are using Power BI desktop for our local machine implementation, Power BI service is like cloud-based or like server-based that is allowing you to publish your visuals or your BI report or dashboard over the online platforms. Maybe your company web page, maybe your My Business Magazine, maybe your social media page, right? So these things you can incorporate in this once you have a license in that. Publish one. A Capilot is like a AI chat engine. So it will be giving you like a smart answers for predefined questions. Another one here is it will customize your queries. It will customize your a smart narrative as well. Content creation, basically. AI-based content creation, Capilot. Fine. If I click the second tab over the ribbon, like new page, we can create a like from here plus button, or we can create from here itself. New, the same. More visuals we can get from the Dataverse or app source, or we can download, or we can create our app. In that case, question answer, we have already seen, like when I was writing a question, like what you can say, pay rate per hour by position and so and so. Another thing we have covered is a key influencer when I was in this page 2, page 3, right? That what are the factors that leads to what? So in case of this data set, EMP satisfaction, maybe a position name, maybe your department name, maybe your manager name, maybe your pay scale, right? So we can analyze multiple things in terms of the uh, key influencers. Decomposition tree, I have already covered like this in page 2, right? When we are going for the root cause analysis, why it is happening, why the product is not likable by the public, why our company brand is going down, why the most of the people are leaving my organization. So a lot of things as a root cause analysis, we can go for that. Narrative, we have already seen this one, that if I click on this narrative, so it will be showing you the smart answer or customize. So no summary found for this. So for root cause analysis, I can create another one. So in case of page 3, we have already created a summary like this, or I can create another one here for this smart narrative. See, and it is written. It is creating or is it custom. So it is creating a AI based content for the analysis of your visuals. So no need to worry if you are not able to generate a content and you are a good analyst. So AI will help, or my Power BI software will help to generate the content in that case, right? Another one here is like if you click on this paginated report, what is the meaning of this paginated report? When we are going to publish report. So which are the parts we are going to publish as a page 1, page 2, page 3. And another thing here is the fitting of the visuals on a particular page, paginated. Another thing here is in case of the paginated, it will also allow you to include or embed multi-page report from the outsource. So let's say I'm working on my developing on my BI report for my organization for HR department, and I have a attachment of a previous year report or some data set that I need to attach with my BI report. So that paginated will option will help us in case of this hyperlinking or maybe embedding the new report or inside of the report inside of the report, right? Power App, again, it is going for this app store to click on this new or to install the new things or new visuals. Apart from that, if you are able to see this Power Automate, it will be like a trigger or to automate the task without leaving the Power BI, right? Automated system in this case. Another one here is buttons. There are a lot of buttons. If you remember when I was creating a macro button in Excel, the similar thing, the Power BI is giving a functionality. But what will happen if you click on this left arrow or right arrow? It is creating the left arrow here. Let's say, let me drag it here. It has created a left arrow for us, right? Like this, but it is not working in this. When I'm clicking on this, what it should do, let's say, whenever I'm clicking on this arrow, nothing is happening. Why? Because it will work in Power BI service mode, right? to page back, to page next, right? Or to page home page or maybe something. So this navigation control is working only and only in Power BI services, not in Power BI desktop, right? So these things we are usually calling this as navigation control, right? How you are going to make use of the bookmark, how you are going to make use of the right page or maybe the right side of the charts, right? So these things, page one, page two, page three. At the moment, click on the page, next page, left, previous page, and so and so. The arrow will help in this case. Shapes and images we have already seen. So in that case, so apart from that, if you click on this modeling, the third part here, measures. So one thing I was showing you that quick measures, the predefined formulas that we can directly use. Apart from that, we can create a new measures as well, but not here. See, if I click on this new measure, let's say quick measure, I need to close. So working on it, right? So whenever you are clicking on this new measure, it is asking you the function or maybe it is asking you the formula for that. Like in the case of this Excel, we have created a number of the formulas. So same way, it will be asking you to create the formula here, right? So maybe average, maybe your standard deviation, maybe your like kth value, or maybe so and so. So whichever the business query you are going to use, you can use in that case. So let me go back to here. All right, and let me click on this quick measure once. Click so, right, and another one here. So let's say new measure is also I'm going to close, right? So another thing here is let's say a new column, new table, right? How when you are going to create a new column and when you are going to create a new measure, right? So new column you can okay, so this modeling, right? New table and new column the same way like a Power Query, we need to create a new column, add column, transform column, delete column. We can go for this one by clicking on this table part, right? Just clicking on this one and it will be giving you the new measure, new column, and so, right? The same thing that we have done in Power Query. Another one here is like a new parameter we can create, like a monthly sales we have created in Power Query, right? When the transactions were given on the daily basis, and we have created a transactions analysis. Agree? Roles, manage role is it is for your like authority, or you can say your IT department role, that how your these people are going to give your access as a login credential to log in or revoke the permissions, or whichever the permissions you can read, you can modify, you can add it, so and so details. Question and answer NLP we have already seen. Linguistic schema is a different one. It will be allowing you that import and export of the different keywords. Now, another thing here is if you click on this view part, let's say in case of this view, interesting thing here is sync slicer I have already covered. Bookmark, like the same page, like same thing, we can have a bookmark of a particular page or particular visual so that we can directly hit whenever we are going for the top management explanation, or whenever we are representing our data set in front of top team, right? So we can have a bookmark and we can directly hit that one. It will directly go to the particular chart or particular page, like bookmark of the browsing page. Another thing here is very, very interesting here is performance analyzer. Let's say if I hit performance analyzer, what will happen? It is running, or it is making the changes in my running query, right? It is changing in my running query so that it can be optimized with the runtime, right? Performance analyzer. Sometimes it might be that my query is running, but it is not optimized with the runtime. So my Power BI automated system will make the query correction and it will hit the results in the smallest fraction of the time, right? Or best optimal time frame. Now, if I click on this, let's say refresh visual, another one, see, it is asking us which one or how many microseconds it has taken to run this thing, right? So that is from the runtime optimization. Nothing to worry about this. Apart from that, grid lines, log objects. What is the meaning of this log object? Whenever you are going to present something in front of a top management or maybe in a board meeting, you can use of this log object that will allow you, or that will like instruct my Power BI not to move my any visual for any reason. Let's say if I'm changing my laptop. Let's say if I'm creating this visual in a pen drive and opening in another laptop, don't move anything, lock objects, wherever it is. So let's say in page 7, what I have written, going back to this, stop, let's say. Right, in case of this page 7, whichever the format or whichever the sequence I have written of the visuals, make sure if I change my laptop, if I change my system, if I transfer my dataset or Power BI like visual to what you can say to another laptop through pen drive, don't make any changes in terms of the orientation or sequence, right? Lock objects. Another one here is filter, we have already covered, sync slicer, selection, another one. Another interesting thing here is mobile layout and page layout. What is the meaning of this and how we are going to use that one? So let's say in case of this page layout, what is the meaning of this? So whenever we are going to develop any web-based or mobile-based application, so if I click on this mobile layout, what will happen? Let's say I click on this mobile layout. Now it is asking me, see, by default, I have created all the what you can say, all the visuals on page 7 and page 8 intentionally, right? I have created all the pages or all the visuals on page 7 and page 8. What is happening now? It is allow me to make different orientation for my mobile pages or mobile application, right? What is the meaning of this? Let's say for the same visual applications, I'm going to see from the perspective of the web portal development or website development. If you see Amazon.com over a laptop and Amazon.com over a mobile application, mobile app, right? Both have different orientation and different options. Like if you open my iamkashipo.ac.in website in your laptop and in mobile application, it has a different orientation and different functionality. So make sure whenever we are going to enable our analytics capability, right? We should enable mobile version also. So any person who is able to see my created analytics or created BI report in mobile also, he or she will be able to understand. So let's say my first call here is, I'm looking for the total recruited employee, right? I'm just dragging which things on which page I'm looking for, right? I have created my first visual on page 1 of my mobile application. Let's say on page 2, on page 1 also, I'm creating my company logo, right? Like this. So it is giving me the full flexibility of rearrangement of all the visuals on my mobile application. So my laptop screen may be 13 by 13 or maybe some other one, but laptop screen is 5 to 6 inches, right? So in this case, how my values are going to be represented here? Let's say employee satisfaction when all the employees are there, right? Employee satisfaction when all the employees are working. See, like this. And let me just move to this one. So same way, you can have a multiple orientation of your page 1, page 2. Will ask you to add another page also, like we have created page 7, page 8 in desktop version. The same way, it will ask you what should be in a page 1, what should be on a page 2, page 3, and so and so. So let's say, let me create another one. Let's say this year-wise trend analysis here. I'm dragging here, right? So year-wise analysis I have pasted here, right? So that any person who are able to see in page 1 will be able to see this one, right? Can I add another page just for sample or maybe this one? So clicking on this mobile version and let's say right click. Let me see where is the option available. So it is showing me like this, showing me page, right? So on page 1, I have created this one. Let me create another one, view layout and another page add, right? So maybe right side. So in this case, by default, it is coming arrow left or arrow right. But let me click on this file. Okay. View, that's fine. Mobile layout is fine, but page visuals is fine. Auto create. So if I click on this auto create or auto create, it will be just pasting n number of, see, whatever the orientation I have written in my desktop version, it is pasting the same thing. Like first one, we have created a like slicer for department wise, then created a picture and total employee, recruited employee, and so and so. See, it has created the visuals on this. If I click on this page 2, see, now in case of this page 8, it is asking us that the same thing, how you are going to look, how you are going to represent your all the visuals in a particular chart, right? So let's say if I click on this page 8, equivalent of the mobile page of 8. Now, if I click on this autocreate, it will drag all the charts into this one. See, my B chart, another one. Earlier it was like another view, and now it is like a 5 by 6 inches view. See, mobile layout. But how to get it back? Let's say if I click hit, see, it is not altered. When I click on my desktop version, it is not getting altered. When I click on this mobile version, see, my Power BI is creating auto create option, and it is, see, all the charts are getting pasted here in a mobile application type. So that any person who is looking my BI report in mobile case, they will or he will be able to understand this, right? Mobile version. Another one, coming back to the desktop version of the BI report. If I hit anything, let's say my all the charts are getting changed. That means if you remember my Excel class, report connection is working automatically, right? My report connection, that means whenever you are changing any criteria, whenever you are using any virtual filter, slicer, my all the charts are getting changed, right? Let's say if I click on this admin office and so, see, all the charts are getting changed. But let's say intentionally, if I don't want to change, in Excel, intentionally we have done report connections to make all the cross impact analysis or to make all the slicers connected. But in case of this Power BI, by default, all the slicers are connected. I need to stop it. Let's say which one I am going to stop. Whenever I am saying the total recruited employee should not be altered, you create any filter, you apply any filter, right? That means there is another option in case of this format, edit interaction. See, just select a particular slicer or particular visual, click on this format. There is another option, edit interaction. If you hit on this, see what is it is showing. Let me see. Click on this, edit interaction now. Okay. See, one thing. Edit interaction. So why it is not showing me the option? See, by default, it should show the option of not hitting the filter conditions. So let me see why it is not happening. Or let me select any particular chart first. Yes, now it is showing. See, when I was selecting a card, it was not showing me the option. This is like circle button, right? Now it is showing me this circle button. What is the meaning of this? If I click on this, none. But whichever the filter you are going to apply, whichever the slicer you are going to apply, make sure my gender, right? My gender should not be altered. Where is the option in this case? And let's say EMP satisfaction should not altered. So what I am saying that the filter condition effect should not be visible on this, right? My filter condition should not be visible on this. What will happen now? If I hit admin office, okay, so it is hitting again. Let me see why it is happening. Edit interaction, right? Now let me go back to this format. Edit interaction off. Now if I click on this admin office, okay, it is hitting. Let me click on again, edit interaction. Filter, non-filter. It should not altered, right? I'm making this instruction that these values should be unaltered, right? And now if I click on this one again, right, format and edit interaction off, right? What will happen if I click on this? Okay, again it is getting changed. But ideally, it should not change when I'm instructing my Power BI that, let's say, format, edit interaction on, right? Let's say if I click on this edit interaction on, make sure that it should not get altered, right? Now if I click on this, now again it is going to change. I'm not sure why it is getting changed, but the concept here is of this edit interaction to stop the filter condition on a particular visual, right? So let's say if I click on this, let me hit that one. It is not applicable, right? And clicking on this format, edit interaction. So for this, it is not enabled. So let's say if I hit slicer condition, or maybe let's say something that my recruitment source should not be disturbed whenever you are clicking. So let's say my recruitment source should not be disturbed. So it is not giving the option to not to alter this one. So it is just giving for few options like for this one, none, none, and none, right? Now if I click on this IT and production, another one, again, it is changing, right? So no issues, but the concept here is the same. It should not alter the filter condition for this, right? Let's say clicking back to this format of the edit interaction. No, it is changing everything. Okay. Now another thing here is let me cover, but the concept is the same, right? We remember that what is the use of edit interaction to stop the visualization or to stop the filter application in this case, right? Another thing here is interesting thing in this. If I click on optimize, okay, that I have seen view. Okay, seeing slicer modeling, nothing is left. Another thing here is let's say drill through. Somewhere it was written drill through. Where it is? Yeah, drill through is there, right? Drill through here is, let's say, let me create another page here. What is the meaning of this? Drill through will allow you to make more depth analysis, right? There is an option of a drill through. It will allow you to analyze more depth insights. So let's say what I'm going to use in this date of hiring, year-wise analysis is fine, count of employee ID is fine, pay rate, right? So let's say if I create another chart, let's say maybe a column chart this time, right? Let's say my column chart is saying department-wise, right? Employee ID, simple. Let me click on the focus mode. Let me click on this, what you can say, data label on. But now I'm looking for another aspects of this drill through. What is the meaning of this drill through? Department wise position, count we have taken. Now I'm looking for pay rate or maybe positions, something. If I click on this pay rate, let's say hope it will work. Now it is showing that summarize or use as a category. See, if I click on this pay rate, let's say 17 per hour, this is belonging to the production department, right? Let's say if I click on the 16, see, again a production, and let's say if I'm clicking on 26, see, two department, right? Again, 26.39 or maybe something, and so and so. So this is again allowing us, see, the pay rate 46 is belonging to IT and IS department. So what is the role of this drill through? It is allowing us further to make further analysis of a particular visual, right? It might be in this data set, we don't have this age slab, like age band. What will happen if my 80% of the manpower of workforce is belonging to 30 to 45 years? What will happen or what is happening when my workforce or my team employees are belonging to 45 to 60 years age band, right? Can we analyze further? What is their salary structure? What is their position? How many companies they have worked? How many projects they have worked? So same things we can use for this drill through. So let's say if not this value, let me create a position wise drill through. So let's say this time I'm creating a position wise drill through here. And let's say accountant one. See, only administrative staff, area sales manager in two departments, BI director in only one department, IT managers, right? See, IT support and so, software engineers, IT department again, senior accountant, IT department, administrative account. So and so, but the real application here is the data does not have the value for this A slab, or like what I can say, salary slab. Let's say level 1, level 2, senior grade salary, engineer grade salary, and so and so. So it is not having the band such in the given data set, but in reality, if you have found something, so what I can do, I can give you a practice data set for you so that you can refer that one. When I will include this salary slab and age band as well. So you can make sure that whenever you are going to click on a position and you are going to click as a drill through as age wise. So let's say a software engineer at the age of 25 to 30, what is the salary structure? And the another one here is a senior software engineer at the age of 40 plus. What is the salary structure of that one? That we can analyze through the drill through. So what is the meaning of this drill through? To analyze further based on the given visuals, right? Based on adding another parameter to the same visuals. Now, another thing here is, let's say, when I was mentioning about how we are going to present it. Back to report. Let's say page 7 and page 8. So what we are calling this as BI reports. Please remember, these diagrams as a summary, the page 7 and page 8 specifically, whatever we have created as a, we are creating as a BI report. When it will become a dashboard, right? When it will become a dashboard, that is again a challenge, right? So when we are going to publish it, see, let's say in case of home, when we are going to publish it, like mobile application, mobile version, it was asking us to orient or to drag the visuals or auto create visuals. The same way, whenever we are connecting with the Power BI services, it asks us that which visualization or which visuals you are going to present on the page 1, page 2, page 3, and it will create a dashboard. How it is, how my dashboard is going to be different from this? These are the reports. 7, page 6, page 8, and page 9, and so and so. When I'm going to publish it over an online channel, business magazines, or maybe your social media platform or any mobile application, it will again rearrange all these things through the pagination for the better fit of the picture of the page size, and it will become the dashboard when multiple people are able to see multiple analytics. Let's say I'm ticking on ID and IS, you are ticking on the sales, another one in your local laptop by seeing from the same original source, right? Then it will become a dashboard. So these are the BI reports that we have created. Another thing here is to cover like how to import this one, right? So let's say if I click on this file and import content and export, yes, export content to a new file. If I click on this export, there is another option, export to PDF, right? So how you are going to, once you have completed all the exercise like BI report 1, BI report 2, BI report 3, you are going to click on this export, right? And now it is asking, it is creating all the pages or page 7 that we have selected, right? See, it is creating all PDF for all the pages. Page 3, now it is getting converted to PDF, then page 4, page 5, page 6, 7, 8, right? So it is creating all the BI report into a PDF format that we can already see, right? We can create, we can share this one. Another one is now it is page 7, now page 8, page 9. See, all the pages it is getting converted into the PDF format, right? So if you want to share your file to your client as a PDF, you can directly hit that one. See, the PDF has been converted, and see, 11 pages we have created. My 11 pages are on my screen. See, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, 6, 7, and 11. That IT and IS. See, interesting thing. What we are calling this as? We are calling this as BI reports, right? To convert this into a dashboard, we need a Power BI services, commercial license for that. Simple one. So how you are going to upload? You are going to upload this PDF as CP. Once you completed all the exercises or all the visuals of your choices and make a summary, and you can print that one, right? Or you can convert or export into a PDF format. You can directly hit. Simple. So going back to this one, so how I have converted file and then export. Publish, again, I need a license for that. See, Power BI, publish to Power BI, it will be asking me a signing page, right? Save changes and any other one. See, it is asking me the sign in. And after that, we will be able to publish. Another thing here is, let me cover, like when I was mentioning filter on page, filter on this page, and filter on all the pages. When I was mentioning about this filter on this page, and what is happening? Sometimes we require, let's say, current year 2024. I'm making a conditional formatting that whatever the analytics you are doing, it is a live data set and you need to run all the analytics for only 2024. So what you can do, you can make use of this filter on all the pages as a condition. Year is 2024. Like if you see in page 2, or sorry, page 3, or maybe in a page 1. When I am saying year 2006 or 2017, can I make use of the particular year, that current year or this year? See, this year, let's say, what is that? This year. So I'm looking for, see, I'm not worrying about the last 2 years or last 3 years. I'm looking for all the analytics, the recruitment trend, recruitment drives, what we have conducted throughout this year only. So I can use this functionality. This, and if I use this slicer for all the pages, it will update all the BI reports for this year only, right? So again, this is under wonderful feature in given in Power BI and in this. Another thing here is, let's say, what I'm going to cover. So filter on page and filter on all pages, right? That I have covered. Another thing here is, if you remember my word or statement, I can say, slicers are nothing but the virtual filters. Agree with this point, right? When I said my slicers are nothing but my virtual filters, but slicers I have created as a department wise. Filter I'm saying on the right side. What is the difference between slicers and filters in case of the Power BI? Again, very interesting aspect of this to cover. See, when I said my slicers are nothing but the virtual filters, or obviously, yes, if I click on this IT&IS equivalent or filter condition, looking for the all the analytics related with the IT&IS, maybe a production, maybe a sales, or maybe something, right? But again, I'm saying that there are three options more as a filter condition on the right side of this page: filter on visualization, filter on this page, and filter on all the pages. What is the meaning and how we are going to differentiate slicers versus filters here? Any good observation as of now?
The slicers will be part of dashboard. Filters.
Okay.
Filters won't be part of dashboard. So slicers are more important.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I agree with the complete statement. And another aspect here is just to add to with your point, like slicers are working as a button format, right? To select or unselect. But the filters will not be, yes, I agree that filter will not be visible when we are going to publish it, right? It is up to us that how many filters we have applied, let's say for currently working, not currently working, and so, or maybe on current year or maybe the previous year, right? But slices again will give you enhanced functionality to select in front of the top management or whenever you are representing, or it is again giving the more functionality to the users. They can have a multi aspect of the analytics of based on their choices. So let's say the case example here is like stock market. My stock listing will be different than yours, or my stock bucket will be different from yours, and I will be analyzing based on my choice, and you will be analyzing from the same source. So that is the functionality of this slicers, giving the button format or giving the this one. Yes, filter may not be visible in the dashboard, and people or customers or users may not be able to change the filters when it is on the online site. Agree. Now, another aspect here is sync slicers I have already covered. So anything else in this in Power BI, right? Quick measure you can directly use that limited functions, that predefined functions in quick measures, right? See, a lot of functions that we have already covered, or maybe another thing here is that I need to cover this star rating. Sometimes we are going to work in star rating. Let me create another page. Interesting thing here, star rating, right? Sometimes we are calling this as a 4-star rating employee or 4-star rated employee. What is the meaning of this and how we are going to convert this? So let's say going to this quick measure. Let's say I'm creating another visualization here. Let's say gauge meter I'm going to create this time, right? Gauge meter I have created. And what I'm saying, employee satisfaction, if I say employee satisfaction. Okay, where it is value, employee satisfaction, I'm dragging here. Right. It is showing me employee satisfaction like this. Let me, right, like this 13K. What is the meaning of this 13K? I'm not sure. But what it is showing me the sum of employee satisfaction. That is not my outcome. What I should use? I should use average of that one. Now, this is showing me the average. Let me click on back to report. It is showing me this one. Like a 0 to 7.78, and out of that, average is 3.89. But let's say what will happen if I'm converting this into a star rating? Will it allow us? Yes. My base value is employee, what is that? What we have taken? Employee satisfaction, right? My base value is employee satisfaction, right? My star number of stars should be 5, and value for highest star rating may be 100 if it is a 100 value, or if it is a star rated, then I can directly write a 0 to 5 only, right? What will happen if I click on add? Okay, so let me see. Nothing has happened. Okay, so star rating, that's fine. Convert a numeric value into variable star rating, sum of satisfaction. Okay, so let's say if I'm saying this as 100, because it is saying this one, what will happen? Let's say, let me see. No, it is not working in that case. So let me do it another way. In that case, it is asking me, let's say, lowest rating and highest rating. So let's say it should be 5, and should not be sum. It should be an average, right? Should be not a sum. It should be average. Right? I'm converting into an average. And if I click on this add, let me see what is happening. Okay, it is not getting changed. Focus mode also. Quick measures. Let me see. Okay. So another way here is like how to convert this into, or let's say if I convert this into, what you can say, not a scatter chart, tree map, or maybe not this one, KPI, right? What will happen if I change this one? And trend axis is, let's say, employee satisfaction again. I'm looking for the analyzing the trend as satisfaction. So again, it is coming as a 5, but not the right data. In case of this KPI, maybe sales performance, maybe a profit target, or maybe something. But let's say in case of this Gauss meter, right? I have created this Gauss meter, and why it is not working? Let me do it for another one. Not employee satisfaction is a good value, right? By default, it is showing me the sum. And let's say if I created an average, but it is showing me the value from 0 to 7.78. I need to convert all these values into 0 to 5 range, right? So minimum value I am putting here, let's say as a 0. So employee satisfaction minimum value I'm putting as a 0, right? But it should not be sum. Now I'm making this as a minimum value. It is representing as a first rating. Now if I click on this maximum value again, employee satisfaction, right? It should not be sum, it should be a max value of this one. So it is showing me, now it is showing me 1 to 5 rating. Agree. Now understood. See, out of the 1 to 5 rating, when I have selected minimum function and maximum function to select the rating star, now it is showing me on the left side, you are able to see this one is written, and on the other one, you can see in the focus mode, 1 is written here and 5 is written here. So out of the 5 rating, my average employee satisfaction is 3.89. Simple one. So if you remember that we have created a speedometer, or what you can say, when we were saying this employee ledger, we were converted all the values in terms of the particular employee rating, right? We have created 3 to 4 speedometer or with the employee ledger, if you remember, right? So the same way, the Power BI is giving the functionality that converting the values into rating format, like from first rating to 5 rating, average is of 3.89. Right. Another one here is, let's say, if I click on drill through, maybe if I'm interested in department wise or maybe something drill through. So n number of things you need to cover. So let's say in case of this production, 3.87, sales 4.23, like average satisfaction 3.78 for software engineering, another one. So I have included the drill through also in this case when I am making use of average employee satisfaction, and I have used the drill through again as a department wise or a position wise you can use. So in case of this admin office, 4.14, the same thing. So multiple combinations, multiple things you can include in case of this Power BI analytics and star rating conversion. Another interesting thing here is in this given data set, there is no like work-life balance star rating, another one, right? In that directly we can convert into a 4-star, 3-star, and so and so. So that functionality is enabled in Power BI to convert all the values like we have converted in employee ledger part. The value in, let's say, is a 75, then convert into 4-star rated. Then if value is a 95% plus, then convert into 5-star rating, and so and so. That is also possible in this. But how to do this one? I can give you a clue for this. Going back to this, let's say how to convert in star rating. In let's say going back in page 1. Okay, page 1, nothing is there. Page 2, page 3. When I have created a line chart, right? If you remember my line chart, yes, count of employee ID, on which basis it is not showing any line chart. Okay, so page 7, or I can create a new page as well. When I'm saying this year-wise recruitment, right? If I click on this chart, the year-wise recruitment, and clicking on this format, there is another option. Let's say there is another option, lines, star, or maybe case of the visuals, drill through, tooltip is fine, small multiple is fine, secondary is okay, that's fine. But another thing here is there is another option. If I select a particular line here, if I select, there is another option, lines, data level, series level, plot area, markers on, lines on, series line. No. So that is not showing in this all text. Another one, tooltip, it is showing. I agree. So another option it is showing me to convert star rating, or I can say maybe in case of this slicers, right? If I click on this slicer, let's say, you will get an option to convert all the values into a rating or maybe something, right? But it is not showing me as of now. But let's say copy visuals, not that, journal. There is an option in the Power BI that I have already discussed with some other batch that what you can say, convert all the values into a rating format. Let me create another one so that it's not confused. Let me create another one and quickly what I can create, maybe a line chart or maybe something. Let's say year-wise analysis, right? And then year I'm going to get it from here as on x-axis and maybe employee ID count on y-axis, right? Simple. And then if I want to convert, let's say this one is legend tool or another one. But if I click on this, there is another option, series level. No, it is not showing me at this moment. But there is another option, tooltip, not tooltip. Marker series level. There is an option of what you can say, I forgot the name. In that you can directly hit your all the values as a star level, right? So maybe it is not enabled in this moment for this data. Tooltip is another thing, or maybe something. So sorry for that. It is not visible at this moment, and I'm not able to recall, right? Where you can convert, but I will show you that one, sure. Where to convert all these values into a star rated. Let's say you are getting a performance percentage. So I will get such type of data set also, maybe in the next session, where like in case of the employee ledger, we were able to convert all these ratings or all these performance rating into a rating format. Let's say 46% of the performance, how it is going to be converted to rating format. Let's say 2.5, 2.3, or maybe 5 point, or maybe out of 100%, a percentage of performance of 95 or 85, then we can directly convert into a 5-star rated employee or maybe something. That is also possible in this Power BI, right? But let me see where it is. Another one here is like you can have a trend line. right? You can have a trend line. Let's say if I click on this on, see it is showing me the trend line, right? Another one here is you can select the methods in this weighted approach, maybe, or like a polynomial approach, another one, right? Minimum line, if you click on this maximum line. So in case of this analytic capability, you can go for this trend line. Usually we use for this when we are conducting any training for the employees and we are looking for the average performance increment by using the trend line, right? So that is also possible for that. So in this way, like I will share another data set in which the more fields will be there and you will be exploring more options. So by default, it is not enabling that what you can say, the star rating conversion, but I will show you sometimes, right? That how to convert the values into star, right? And we'll bring that data also, performance analytics.
The star rating was
So
part of quick measure.
quick measure, okay. So let me see that one. But in that case, it was not converting, right? See, quick measure was opening, right? But it is not converting into that star rating. So maybe data set is of not that type of another one. So if I click, let's say add value, what we are using here, we are using employee ID. Or if I can use employee satisfaction over the trend line, it is not coming. Let's say sum of satisfaction, not it should be an average, right? Average over the sum of satisfaction, and I'm giving this one value. If I click on this side, right? But if I see, let's say it is not converting. Whenever I'm hovering my mouse against of this count, it should be showing me the star rating as well in the tooltip, right? It is not showing me that one. So in case of tooltip, let me check that one if it is possible. Going back to this tooltip, where it is written. Yeah, tooltip I can convert into a star rating, where we have seen tooltip, and another one option. See, okay, just let me select this one. A line I have selected, and where is a tooltip? Drill through is possible, secondary access. Yeah, tooltip. So let's say in case of this tooltip, if I want to convert my, what you can say, employee satisfaction rating, if it is possible, not sum, it should be an average, and so value as maybe star, no percentage, quick measure, new quick measure. If I click on this, oh, no, it is not showing that one, right? So let's say average, and right click on this new quick measure. No, some options are there. I'm not not exactly finding where it is, but there is an option to convert all the values 0 to 100 in terms of the rating part. I will show you definitely, right? And I will bring such data also so that directly it will be enabled in your analytics, right? So maybe this trend analysis may not be converting into trade like into a star rating. Like it is like a recruitment trend, no? So maybe a challenge to convert into a star rating. That's why it is not enabling that option, but there is option in this, I promise, right? So this is about your Power BI. Most of the things I have covered, except this is star rating conversion that I will cover in next session by bringing another data set, relevant data set, I can say, that will directly hit the conversion of the star rating. Another thing here is like home we have seen, insert modeling, another one we have seen, format drill. So drill through I have already explained, right? Find anomalies also, it is if you click like outlier detection, another one. So see, it is showing you the anomalies, another one, like outer boundary or maximum boundary with the lower boundaries. When we are going for this outer boundary and lower boundary, what is the meaning of this? It might be going up to that value and it might be going to up to the lowest value. So it is giving us the three range, actual one and maybe the possible maximum side, possible lower side, right? So that is the find anomalies. And another one here is whenever if you are working on the Vox and Whisker chart in this Power BI, it will help you to identify the outliers. So let's say in a complete organization, we are giving, let's say, a higher salary of a particular position. It will be identifying to show you that how these positions are going to be a burden on the company. See, whenever you see the recruitment trend and firing trend of any organization, again, very important aspect of this to cover. Like whenever we are able to see the firing trend and hiring trend of any organization, mostly it is happening with the top positions and lowest positions. Why? In case of those entry level positions, we usually have a like attrition rate higher, just hiring and firing the new people based on the skill sets, based on the contract agreement, another one. But what is happening when we are firing the top positions? Might be that on the top positions, top 3 positions or top 5 positions are creating a burden to the company, a financial burden, I can say, in terms of the pay package and salary structure. So by firing one people at the top position may include n number or maybe 10 people at the entry level. So that is the company policy as a man, as a CEO, or maybe as a owner of the company. What the owner or CEO is thinking, that if we are hiring, or why we should retain a particular person who is like draining a lot of salary. Instead of that, we can have 10 to 12 people at the entry level or mid level. So that's why most of so that in that case, your find anomalies or find outliers will help you to identify such people who are draining more and more salary, or who are draining more and more skewness of a particular analysis, so that you can have a look on that, and maybe you can have readjust your policies, or maybe something, maybe salary structure policy, or maybe something to reduce the financial burden on your employee side or your organization side, or maybe multiple aspects in this. So for this, for outlier detection, another one, you can go for this walks and whisker chart. Let me see if it is available in this visualization. Let's say page number 10. Walks and whisker chart is available here or not? By default, it is not. I'm not able to see here, right? So we can get from more visuals once we are signing it. So walks and whisker we can incorporate, and we can go for this outlier detection. Another thing here is, if you are working or if you are looking for the coding part as well, like Python and R programming, it is also giving you the options to include your R script or Python script. So let's say you have written a Python script to find something, or to develop a word cloud, right? Word cloud by default is not showing me in a visualization, build visualization, but when we are going for the more visualization, we can go for the Choropleth installation. We can go for this word cloud as well, right? Nowadays, word cloud, what are the trending positions? What are the trending keywords or sentiment among the employees? Why the people are not happy? We need to analyze the sentiments of the people, what they are writing about the company, what they are talking about the companies, so that we can get from this, get more visuals. Maybe word cloud and other one. Another thing here is like R script and Python script. If you have written something, then you can directly import that one. See, in case of this Python, you can directly enable the Python enabled after installation of the Panda, or maybe Jupyter Python, or maybe something, or maybe RStudio in case of the R programming, right? So most of the things I have covered in case of this Power BI. Most of the options I have shown you, and except this star rating, right? I will cover that one also in the next coming session. And so anything else before we close for the day? So I will continue from this point. Please save it. And what you people are going to submit, just page 7 and page 8 as a PDF, or maybe as a complete analysis as a PDF, right? So that you can directly upload to CP when I'm going to create a link to upload, right? Simple one, simple exercise. And it is your choice that how many number of visuals you are going to create, no restrictions. And how many combinations you are going to make, it's up to you, that based on your understanding, based on your combinations, and number of the analytics can be performed. So no restrictions from my side, and ultimately just convert to export as a PDF and directly upload as a CP, right? Simple one. Another one here is like star rating I will cover in the next session. And what is left? Publish part I cannot cover because it will require a signing detail or commercial version Power BI services, right? So anything else, or any comment, or anything to rediscuss, or any doubt, or any conclusion as of now before we close for the day, right? Continue in the next session as well from this point. Simple. And please save it for the next session, right? And it is also giving the options there to connect with all the type of data sets like Power Pivot or Power Query, and multiple things you can, or multiple data set you can cover, whichever the backend you are using, SQL Server, Oracle, Azure database, IBM DB2, MySQL, right? So it is giving all the functionality to create a live connections as well. So whenever the data is getting changed in the real database, it will also be fetching here, and it will be automatically updated without a refresh in case of this Power BI, right? So that's all for the day, and we will continue from the next session in this, right? And we'll bring some more complicated data set where the performance rating and so on, such type of data set we can directly convert into a star rating. Maybe this year-wise recruitment may not be the right choice. That's why it is not giving us the star rating conversion, but it is showing somewhere, but something is wrong in this.
Sir, do
So-
we have the lecture next week as well, or do we have
Yes,
Diwali
yes.
holiday?
No. 27th we have lecture, and 3rd we don't have. After 27 October, that directly will be on the 10th November,
Okay.
right? So next week we have a lecture.
Yeah, sorry,
Hmm.
next week only. The Diwali week we
No,
have
no.
holiday, right?
No. 3rd November we don't have. We have kept this as a
right.
blank.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
understood.
So my team and the team leads, we have already covered this holiday aspects for the people. है ना? Moving, maybe traveling, or maybe some
Yeah, exactly.
gadget
Yes.
holidays.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So
So
thanks, and
next
see you.
session will be Power BI only. This only with more data.
More data, and I will cover some more aspect that is left in today's, and I will cover other aspects of the Tableau. We'll start Tableau as well, right?
Okay.
More advanced software at Tableau, in which